The Elder is the deep man back for the Buccaneers. And we're underway. And the kick will be touched at the 1-yard line by Frank Pillow, a rookie. Pillow recovers and gets it out to about the 18-yard line. So that could have been disaster. Gary Richard making the tackle for the Packers. So Vinny Testaverde, still looking for his first win as a pro, will go against this Green Bay Packer defense. They've had some changes up front. Blaze Winter will start at left defensive end for Sean Patterson. Jerry Boyarski and Robert Brown up front. 4 linebackers. Tim Harris is the one to watch it outside. We'll give you the secondary after this play. First down. Testaverde completes the pass to Ron Hall, his tight end. He's short of a first down as he brings it out just shy of the 25. Dorsey on the tackle. The secondary, Mark Lee and the veteran Dave Brown at the corners. Ken Stills and Mark Murphy are the safeties for the Packers. Testaverde sacked only once last week, but threw 5 interceptions. And Danny threw only 6 last year and didn't play the full year, so he's getting up there.
Well, and what Ray Perkins wants out of Vinny to start this game is a very consistent performance. Don't take a lot of deep shots. You're not going to get a lot of deep plays against the Green Bay Packers. What you got to do is be real patient with your offense. Take what they give you. A good example is on that very first play, just a simple pass over the middle to the tight end. Jerry
Boyarski's out of there, and Nate Hill replaces him. So already the depleted line of the Packers has hurt some more.
That brings them down to 3 defensive linemen.
2nd and 3 at the 25. Wilder will lose a yard. James Wilder is stopped by Tim Harris, and the Packer defense. Jerry Boyarski comes back into the game. Here's the rest of the offense for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They'll have James Wilder and Jeff Smith in the backfield. Mark Carrier and Bruce Hill are the wide receivers. The offensive line, #1 pick Paul Gruber, Rick Mallory, Randy Grimes, Dan Turk, and Rob Taylor, and Ron Hall is the tight end. It'll be 3rd down and 3, no gain. Testaverde with the quick toss. He was going for Hill, overthrown, and covering on the play was Mark Lee.
Packers said they want to put a lot of pressure on Vinny early in this game, get him thinking about all the different looks he's going to see. They came with a couple of blitzes that time, and Vinny was off the target.
So it'll be 4th down. Ray Criswell, who's fighting for his job. He's had a rough week last week, and Norman Jefferson will be back to receive the punt. He had a rough week for the Packers. The ball gets by Jefferson. Inside the 30, and some hard hitting going on as Jefferson is down at about the 32-yard line by Mark Robinson. A 47-yard punt. Jefferson last week had lost 2 fumbles on kick returns.
And he touched that ball on the first bounce. That's why he had to go back and field it.
Randy Wright getting another chance. As Dan said, he won't get the quick hook today from his coach, Reuben Davis, Kurt Jarvis, and Ron Holmes up front for Tampa Bay. Murphy, Marv, Randall, and Moss are the linebackers. Secondary, Reynolds, Futrell at corner, Hamilton and Robinson the safeties. First down at the 33. Brent Fullwood finds a hole and brings it out to the 40-yard line, a gain of 7. Going to have a personal foul tacked on. Mark Robinson and Kevin Murphy made the stop. Jerry Seaman is our referee. It's against Tampa Bay.
We talked about mistakes earlier in this game. This is not a turnover, but this is just as good as a turnover. What it does is create
number 99 defense. First down.
What it does is it creates great field position for the Packers early, something they did not have at all last week when they played the Rams.
Eugene Marv, the guilty party on the penalty. So now the Packers already in Buccaneer territory at the 45, first down. 2 minutes gone by, first quarter. Packers have a chance here. couple of yards short of a first down. Mark Robinson and Bobby Futrell make the stop on Ken Davis. The rest of the Packer offense. Fullwood and Davis the backs. Walter Stanley and Sterling Sharp. Sharp, the #1 draft pick. Wide receivers up front. Ken Rutgers back in action at left tackle. Rich Moran, Mark Cannon, Ron Hallstrom. Keith Euchre is the right tackle. And the tight end is Ed West. It'll be 2nd down and 3 for the Packers on the Buccaneer 38. They send Davis to the top of your screen wide. Brent Fullwood will not get the first down. He's about 1.5 yards short as the Buccaneers closed on the run. Winston Moss made the tackle.
You know, 2nd and short. We're here in Lambeau Field. All I can think about is Bart Starr faking the ball to Jim Horning and throwing it up over the top to Max McGee. I guess things have changed here. Make that Paul Horning, Jim Taylor and Paul Horning. Either one, it worked really well for him.
I forgot his name too. You know, it's been a while since he's been out. 2nd down, 3rd down and 2 on the 37-yard line. 4 wide receivers for the Packers. Paul Caruth is the running back. Penalty marker down. Caruth will have the first down if it's against Tampa Bay. To the 33-yard line. Robinson, the strong safety, on the stop for Tampa Bay, but there's a flag down. And it'll be against the Bucs, so the first down will stand.
Offside. Lining up in the neutral zone. Number 90 defense. First down.
That's really inexcusable. All the defensive end has to do is look down inside to see where the ball is. That time Ron Holmes must have just had his face mask in the neutral zone.
Well, he was thinking about the next movie he was going to review, as you saw in the NFL today. First down on the 32 for the Packers. They send Davis now to the bottom of your picture. He'll move him all the way around. Fullwood inside the 30, picks up a couple. Again, Mark Robinson, he's made a number of tackles thus far for Tampa Bay. 8 new starters for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensively from a year ago.
What we're seeing so far, Dick, is 3 or 4 running plays that have all been hitting up inside. The Packers feel that their offensive line can control the Buck defensive line. The Bucs gave up a lot of yardage last week to the Eagles right up the middle.
Packers are shuttling in wide receivers. Philip Epps is in there now, number 85. 2nd and 7 at the 29. Fullwood thrown for a loss by Ron Holmes. Well, he woke up in a hurry from that penalty. We mentioned at the top the Buccaneers have lost 9 straight games overall, but if you count the preseason, they've lost 13, and it is a baker's dozen. Last win was against the Packers.
Right here, too, and the thing that's not exactly the type of baker dozen you want. 13 is an unlucky number.
For some, although Jay Schrader wants to wear it for the Raiders at quarterback. 4 wide outs and 6 defensive backs. Caruth is the running back on 3rd and 10 at the 32. Randy Wright, and it's nearly intercepted. Epps was the intended receiver, and Bobby Futrell would have had clear sailing. So Randy Wright's first pass attempt is nothing to write home about.
Well, it was just off the target. He had his man open. He just kind of let him too far. Futrell really should have caught that ball, and if he had, we'd have a 6-0 game right now.
Don Bracken. Max Zendejas will try a field goal, 50-yard attempt to try to give the Packers a lead on 4th down. It's good. 3-0. The Green Bay Packers are on the board here in Lambeau Field.
We're not a company.
But we'll give you a chance to work where there's always a challenge.
We'll give you opportunities to learn, to develop.
To perfect skills that you thought were beyond your reach.
We'll help you build a career that can reward you for the rest of your life.
We're not a company.
We're your country.
We're the Army.
The Navy.
The Air Force.
The Marines.
We're the Armed Forces.
It's a great place to start.
AT&T has just made watts a whole new ballgame for any size business. Pick from a lineup of plans that give you call detail, distance-sensitive pricing, and major league discounts, even on international and AT&T card calls. If you thought AT&T Watts had just one pitch, now it's a whole new ballgame.
This year, as the Olympic spirit burns proudly in your heart, why not wear this proudly on your chest? Michelob Light's free U.S. Olympic team pin. Visit this display for details.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll always be glad that he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to. Brute, it smells like a man.
Great.
There's the time remaining in the first quarter, and the Packers on Max Zendejas' longest field goal as a Packer, 50 yards, has given Green Bay the lead, and now Zendejas will be kicking off. Donnie Elder will go deep for Tampa Bay. He'll be flanked by Frank Pillow and Jeff Smith.
You know, Dick, the wind is starting to pick up a little bit. I got to believe that it gave that ball a little bit of a boost to get it over that crossbar. Didn't make it by much, but it counts as a 50-yarder.
That was the first field goal attempted by the Packers. Tampa Bay is also looking for their first. Kick heading over the same way. And at the one, it's Frank Pillow. And the 11th round pick from Tennessee State is brought down at the 16-yard line by Scott Stevens. Tampa Bay's problems, and Green Bay's too last week, poor field position, and it looks like the same problem is haunting Tampa Bay as you look at the Packers scoring drive.
Well, and 30 of those 36 yards came, or 20 came compliments of penalties. A 15-yarder on Eugene Marv for illegal roughness, and then the offsides by Holmes puts Tampa in a bad position again, down 3-0.
They're on the 16. Scores start rolling in from around the league. We'll keep a watch on those throughout the day. Jeff Smith. Stopped at the 19 by Blaze Winter. Winter starting in place of Sean Patterson, the rookie who has a hamstring problem.
It really creates a problem with the injury up front there. A couple of injuries to the Packer front line. They went into the game with 5 defensive linemen. Now they're down to 4. But the real ace in the hole that they have is Tim Harris, a outside linebacker that also can play defensive end, number 97.
Testaverde with a 2nd and 7 at the 19.
This one
This time Smith again, no gain, and it's Jerry Boyarski, the nose tackle. That'll set up a 3rd and long for the Buccaneers.
Boyarski's playing in a little pain. He jammed his thumb on at practice on Friday, and Hank Bulla, his defensive coach, gave him 2 choices for today. He could either tape his thumb up or cut it off. Well, he taped it up. He's out there making good plays.
And of course, Hank Bulla always knows he can go to that 6 linebacker, 5 defensive back unit and not use any defensive lineman. 3rd down and 7 at the 19-yard line. 3 wide receivers for the Bucs. Testaverde's pass is caught. 1st down, Ron Hall, the tight end. And it's just short of the 30-yard line. Norman Jefferson on the stop, and a good throw by Vinny.
I'm not sure that this play was executed the way it's supposed to be, though, Dick. We had 2 receivers in the same area. Fortunately for Testaverde, Hall made a nice grab and got the necessary yardage with a little toe dance up the sideline.
Hall's done pretty well from a surfer from San Diego.
He's followed the sun. Hawaii, now Tampa.
He knows where to play. 1st and 10 at the 29 for the Buccaneers. That's their first down of the game. Testaverde stepping up, going for Hill, and Hill just out of bounds. Very close, defended by Mark Lee. So it'll be 2nd down as Testaverde tries to go long.
We'll take a look at just the end of this play. Fine throw by Testaverde. This is really his strength, is throwing the ball down the field. 1, 2, the second one's out of bounds.
Not by much, though.
Not by much, and it really sends a message to Mark Lee that he'd better be careful, because You give him Testaverde the chance, the time to throw. He can throw you deep and kill you.
What does Perkins want to do with Testaverde, basically, a young quarterback? What's his plan with him?
Well, he said that, you know, he's struggling now, and he's going to struggle. Every young quarterback's got to do it. There's not too many that step into the league right now and set the league on fire, especially with a team that's in transition or a team that's rebuilding like the Bucs.
They may be reviewing this play, and we said it was very close. The play will stand. Here it is. It's the second foot.
The left foot is in, but he did not have control at that time. His right foot counted, but his left foot then was out of bounds.
And on that kind of replay, you don't always see that, whether the guy is bobbling it or not. Inconclusive. 2nd and 10 now at the 29. No score. 3-0, I should say, Packers. And here's Jeff Smith. Gets a hole and rambles out to the 35-yard line. And right now, for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York. Brent?
Well, Dick, the Giants strike first against the 49ers in their big one at the Meadowlands after a Steve Young fumble. Sims to Manuel. Extra point is good. 7-0. Giants lead the Niners. Let's go back to Green Bay, and here's Dick Stockton.
All right, Brent. Good start for the Giants, who beat the Redskins last Monday. 3rd and 3 right here for the Buccaneers on the 35, their own. Testaverde completes it. Hill still going and nearly gets to midfield. In fact, he does. Mark Murphy knocks him out of bounds, but not before Hill and the Buccaneers have a 15-yard gain and a first down.
Testaverde came to the line of scrimmage, and nice little audible here. He hits Hill on the quick out, enough for the first down with the catch, but good athletic ability to dodge Mark Lee and get up the field for another couple of yards.
Bruce Hill had the best overall day of any NFL receiver last week. 8 catches, 157 yards, and a score. First down, Tampa Bay. They're at midfield. Jeff Smith for a couple of yards. Interesting that James Wilder, who's been their great ball carrier over the years, is kind of ignored thus far. Boyarsky and Witter combined on that play.
Wilder, a lot of people feel that he's lost a step or lost the desire. He's had a great camp. He's worked extremely hard. The coaches are very pleased with him. But you just never know with the running back when he loses it. You see all the great ones towards the end of their career, they start to lose that desire to get hit, and that's very understandable. But I believe that James Wilder and his teammates believe that he'll be back this year and really be a contributor.
Carried only 3 times last week. He's carried once for nothing so far here. 2nd and 7. Bucks on the Packer 47. For no gain at midfield. Tiger Green forced the play from the secondary.
Then there's times when you're just unlucky. Here they try to run a draw play against the blitz, and there's just not enough blockers for all the people coming in to tackle them.
Stephen Starring, who has activated, the former New England Patriot, is in with Bruce Hill and Mark Carrier, 3 wide receivers for the Buccaneers on 3rd and 10.
We've got 2 down linemen in the game now and 5 linebackers. Not the backer defense yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see it real soon.
Testaverde getting a rush. And his pass is knocked down, and he might have gone over the line of scrimmage. We have an injured Packer, and Testaverde might have gone over the line of scrimmage before he threw the ball, and that would be a loss of down. Let's wait to see the official call. Meanwhile, a Packer is shaken up. Here's Jerry Seaman. Blaze Winter is the injured Packer. And they're working on him.
This is a very common mistake for a young quarterback that's trying to do too much. But if the Packers lose Blaze Winter, they are in big trouble.
Loss of down. Offense. 4th down.
He threw it about a yard beyond the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down, and Testaverde will go to the sidelines, and Winter is still shaken up. What else can happen to the Packer defensive line? You know, they're already playing without Alfonso Carricker, normally a starter who's injured.
Sometimes necessity is the mother of invention, Dick, and Hank Buller, the defensive coach for the Packers, has invented a new defense. 6 linebackers, 5 defensive backs, and he's going to have to use it today because they're running out of defensive linemen.
Well, he's the kind of defensive coordinator that likes to do trickery anyway, doesn't he?
He is a very creative guy. Played against him for a number of years, and each time you play against a coach like that, you've got to spend more time in preparation during the week because you have no idea what crazy things he'll come up with and use against you on Sunday.
Winter appears to be all right. Walks off on his own power, and on 4th down, Ray Criswell will kick. First punt was much improved. There's Norman Jefferson going back for Green Bay.
He got a lot of roll in that first punt, Dick. It was not a great punt, but Jefferson did not field it on the fly, something that just drives defensive coaches crazy when that ball hits the ground.
Criswell, high kick. Fair catch called for by Jefferson. Crowd cheers it as he holds onto it. Hope he has a sense of humor. 34-yard punt to the 22-yard line with 6:02 remaining in the first quarter, and Max Zendejas 50-yarder has been the only scoring thus far.
Today's small cars are tougher than ever on oil. Their high-compression engines not only rev high, they can run hotter than regular small car engines. Their searing heat can begin to break down an oil immediately. That's why there's Castrol. Castrol provides maximum protection against viscosity and thermal breakdown. So use Castrol before your engine does something to get you heated up. Castrol, engineered for today's smaller cars.
Sundown, Luke! I'm calling you out! Luke!
Since 1896, some men have preferred to spend their nights in more rewarding pursuits.
Luke!
Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob Light?
Luke! After flying so many aircraft, I'm not easily impressed with car performance. Then I drove the Cutlass Supreme pace car at the Indy 500. I was impressed.
In USAC tests, Cutlass Supreme out-cornered the BMW 325 and brake better than the Ford Thunderbird LX. And the Cutlass Supreme costs a whole lot less.
So I got 3 of them. Hey, I got 2 kids, boys.
And now get $1,000 direct from Oldsmobile when you buy a 1988 Cutlass Supreme by September 28th.
It's back. It's going, gone. That's out of here.
This and every sunset is brought to you by Michelob, proud sponsors of night games everywhere. Shouldn't your night belong to Michelob?
We're back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Dick Stockton and Dan Faust, as the Packers and the Buccaneers, who were both out of their respective games very early last week, both in it very much here. Randy Wright trying to get things straightened out. He's got Don Makowski waiting in the wings. And Lindy Infante says that you can't make the judgment yet on Wright because a lot of people missed assignments in the first game. We'll see what happens. First down, Green Bay on the 22-yard line. Toss to the outside to Davis. Hit immediately. Good defense by Tampa Bay. Mark Robinson made the stop after a gain of a couple. Some scores to report. The Bears lead the Colts 7-0 in the first quarter. Jim McMahon hit Dennis Gentry with a 35-yard scoring pass. The Redskins over the Steelers 7-3. Doug Williams hit Ricky Sanders 55-yard scoring play, and Morton Anderson's 41-yard field goal has given the Saints an early 3-0 lead over the Falcons. 2nd and 8 for the Pack on their 24. Close to first down yardage at the 31. Be very close, maybe short by a half a yard. Mark Robinson, the strong safety, makes the stop.
Both quarterbacks last week were hassled by great pass rushes. Today we're not seeing any pass rush from either team, and Randy Wright is starting to get his rhythm here. He does a nice job of finding the open man on this one, and Davis gives the Packers a lot out there both as a running back and as a guy that can split out wide. What they're trying to do is create some type of mismatch there.
3 tight ends, including the newest base, Clint Didier, for the Packers on 3rd and less than 1 at the 31. And the ball carrier is Brent Fullwood, and he leaps for the first down at the 34.
This is Ed Toolbox West, the second guy in from the top, number 86, and great job of blowing his man off the line of scrimmage, turning them out, but Fullwood really deserves a lot of credit for going airborne and getting that first down.
I thought you only do that stuff at the goal line. Meanwhile, Irvin Randall, who made the tackle and took the brunt of Fullwood's airborne flight, is shaken up on the play. And we'll take a timeout here at Lambeau Field.
After flying so many aircraft, I'm not easily impressed with car performance. Then I drove the Cutlass Supreme pace car at the Indy 500. I was impressed.
In USAC tests, Cutlass Supreme out-cornered the BMW 325 and brake better than the Ford Thunderbird LX. And Cutlass Supreme costs a whole lot less.
So I got 3 of them. Hey, I got 2 kids, boys.
And now get $1,000 direct from Oldsmobile when you buy a 1988 Cutlass Supreme by September 28th.
Also would be a man, must be a nonconformist. A foolish consistency is the hobgoblin of little minds. To be great is to be misunderstood. There is a time in every man's education when he arrives at the conviction that envy is ignorance. Insist on yourself, never imitate. To believe that what is true for you in your private heart is true for all men. That is genius.
Ever feel like you're getting nickeled and dimed to death? Take my old gas station. If I use their credit card, $1 bought 96 cents worth of gas. For me, that 4 cents added up to about 50 bucks a year. So now I come here, Phillips 66. I get high detergent, super clean, unleaded gasoline for the same low price. Cash or credit. I give them $1, they give me $1's worth of gas.
Three-time defending champion Yvonne Lindell battles Swedish sensation Mats Wilander. It's the U.S. Open final on CBS Sports. Next.
There's Irvin Randall on the sideline. He's had to come out of the game.
According to Doug Graver, the defensive coordinator for the Bucks, he feels he's their best defensive player, so Bucks could be hurting now.
Johnny Holland, who best inside backer for Green Bay, he's not playing today at all. First down, Green Bay on their own 34. 4:48 to go in the first quarter. Fullwood. It's to about the 37-yard line. Picks up about 4. Kurt Jarvis and Kevin Murphy on the stop. The Atlanta Falcons have taken the lead over the Saints 7-3. Chris Miller, who's really a good young quarterback for the Falcons, hit Ken Wisenhunt with a 12-yard scoring pass.
Chris Miller, former University of Oregon Duck. Thank you very much.
Van Brocklin, Berry,
Bob Berry,
Miller, and you.
We can throw it a little up there.
4 Ducks. And second down, 6 at the 38. Sure could. Randy Wright getting a rush. Gets it out to his tight end West, and West barely gets back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Mark Robinson makes his 5th tackle of the ball game. He has been a demon back there at safety for the Buccaneers.
Everybody remembers that he was the player that was traded for Steve DeBerg, and that trade type really surprised Mark, although he likes the idea of coming in with a young team and being part of a team that is going to turn it all around. He's confident that that'll happen here in Tampa.
Well, he gets a chance to start now, but he was starting to build a house in Kansas City when he was dealt. 3rd and 6 at the 38. Paul Otkaruth, the lone back. Running out of time. And Caruth, if he caught it, will just bring him back to the line of scrimmage. And apparently he did, and it's 4th down. Robert Goff. What happened to Wright with the mask? He had a problem.
Well, I think the problem is a big right hand coming inside there. It looks like a little face mask grab there, too. Robert Goff, who it's an interesting nickname. He prefers to be called Pig. His older brother Reginald hung that one on him at an early age, but he likes it.
Don't know many people who want to be called the Pig. Anyway, Jeff Smith goes back for Tampa Bay. Don Brackett with a beauty. Fair catch, Smith into the sun, and he makes the catch at the 12. So the Buccaneers again start with poor field position following a 51-yarder as Randy Wright is still working on that right eye. Timeout, 2:25 remaining in the first quarter. A Green Bay field goal still the only point.
flying so many aircraft, I'm not easily impressed with car performance. Then I drove the Cutlass Supreme pace car at the Indy 500. I was impressed.
In USAC tests, Cutlass Supreme out-cornered the BMW 325 and brake better than the Ford Thunderbird LX. And Cutlass Supreme costs a whole lot less.
So I got 3 of them. Hey, I got 2 kids, boys.
And now get $1,000 direct from Oldsmobile when you buy a 1988 Cutlass Supreme by September 28th.
We're not a company, but we recognize potential. We develop it. We use it. We'll make sure that as your responsibility grows, so will you. As your ability for leadership grows, so will you. Working with us, you'll gain self-confidence, become a person with a future. We're not a company. We're your country. We're the Marines, the Army, the Navy, the Air Force. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
More profound than words. Diamonds.
Here's Randy Wright, who took out his contact lens. He had a tough problem from Robert Goff here.
Well, Goff gets him with the right hand, and then he brings his knee right up to his jaw. Make it hard for quarterbacks today.
1st and 10 on the 13 for Tampa Bay. And Lars Tate, the rookie from Georgia, who is expected to play considerably today, is stopped by Burnell Dent. Tate is a runner, and a lot of the Southeastern Conference running backs like Fullwood from Auburn and Tate from Georgia are just runners. They haven't been so much trained as receivers or blockers.
There's so much that goes into being a running back in the NFL, not just carrying the ball. They got to be able to block. They got to be able to catch passes. They're all learning.
Picked up 3 on that play. 2nd and 7 on the 16. Vinny Testaverde. Tate again. Tim Harris, who does a lot of talking on the field, now talking to the crowd as he makes a big play.
You know, we talked about Lars Tate having to learn how to be a running back. Well, somebody's going to have to learn how to block people. Nobody blocked Tim Harris there, but he really loves to get fired up and talk to people out on the field. He said that he told us that he gets lost out on the field if he's not talking. He loses his concentration. He wants to get people jazzed up a little bit.
Well, he's got a future job somewhere. Buccaneers face a 3rd and 8, and last week they were inept on 3rd down. On the 15. Crowd really into it, and Testaverde calls a timeout. He got confused.
One of the things that confused him was the first time we've seen the backer defense. All 6 linebackers are in the game right now, 5 defensive backs. The problem that poses for the Bucs offense is who is rushing the passer and who's responsible for blocking them in passing situations. Another problem that the Bucs have not been able to shake so far in this game that plagued them last week is poor field position. Here they are backed up again inside their own 20.
Let me ask you this. If they've looked at the films, and they are obviously more familiar with looking at films of the backer defense, why is he confused when it finally faces him?
Well, one of the problems is you'll see them all moving around, and even the center's a little confused here. Maybe the play that Vinny had called wasn't one that was designed to go against the backer defense.
That might have been it. Anyway, Testaverde back on the field. Vinny, so far, as you mentioned, poor field position, has completed 3 of 6 for only 31 yards. Now it'll be 3rd and 8 on the 15. How about that? Green Bay has had a slight edge in field position. So the backer defense is on the field on 3rd and 8. Testaverde running. Intended for James Wilder. Tim Harris was down there defending. Norman Jefferson was closest to him, and it'll be 4th down.
Let's take a look at number 97. He had a few words for Vinny after he threw this ball away, but the Packers overload the left side, and Harris is just too much for Paul Gruber, the rookie. Good job of Vinny not forcing the ball there, though, and creating some type of turnover.
4th down, Criswell from the 3. Jefferson with the fair catch. And the ball will stop in Tampa Bay territory. It was down by Dan Turk, so if you're looking for field position following the 29-yard kick, Criswell is limping off the field. The Green Bay Packers are golden.
According to referee Jerry Seaman, this player is blocked into the punter. And looks like Mr. Harris again. He's all over the field. Also Tiger Green on the play, number 23.
Now all the Buccaneers are converging.
We have a personal foul penalty called against the Bucs now. A lot of mistakes early.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 20 kicking team after the ball was dead. First down.
Odie Harris, rookie defensive back. That's the 4th penalty against the Buccaneers for a total of 40 yards, and that'll move the ball up to the 30-yard line.
Well, we'll take a look at O.B. Harris here, taking a cheap shot at Norman Jefferson. Those aren't always detected.
Packers with a great opportunity here. They've been penalty-free, haven't they? 1st and 10 on the Tampa Bay 30-yard line. 3-0 Packers. 46 seconds to go, first quarter. Fullwood. Dropped at the 30 by Kevin Murphy. There's the time remaining in the first quarter.
Good job by Murphy coming from the offside and running Fullwood down from behind. And the Packers, this is a great time for them to go up top. They've got Tampa a little bit thinking about all the mistakes they're making. They got to be a little bit down defensively. They had their backs to the wall for the most part of this first quarter.
And Randy Wright has hit 4 out of 5, including his last 4, but not for many yards. This could be the last play of the first quarter. 2nd and 10, Wright finds Fullwood. Fullwood to the 10. 5, he'll score. And no flags are down. Touchdown, Green Bay. Will try to make it 10-0 Packers as time has run out here in the first quarter. The punter Don Bracken will hold, and this crowd in a festive atmosphere here despite last week's misery. Different story now, and the Packers after 1 quarter lead it 10-0, and here's how.
The offensive line gives Randy Wright a lot of time to throw, and they opened up a huge hole on the left side of the protection. Wright steps up, and you could hear the fans saying, "Run, run, run!" But yet he uses his head and gives the ball to a guy that really can run, Brent Fullwood. And Fullwood breaks the tackle there, gets into the end zone, and a great reaction by Randy Wright.
What a way to end a quarter here in Green Bay with the Pack up 10-0.
It's a place called Death Valley, where 10th-ranked Florida State will take on the 3rd-ranked Tigers of Clemson next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Hi, I'm Hugh Culverhouse, and this is the new Tampa Bay skyline. And there's a whole new spirit of winning here in Tampa, not just for the Buccaneers, but for the community. We've turned the corner. Today, our city is saying no to drugs, and people from every walk of life are joining me and our team members to walk hand in hand with our young people. The drug problem has been infiltrating every aspect of our society. But Americans have finally gotten the message and the commitment to be winners in this fight. I have grandchildren, and like all parents, I want a drug-free society. But them and all our children. I know the Buccaneers are going to be winners on the field, and the people of Tampa, they're going to be winners in their fight against drugs. United Way, it brings out the best in all of us.
This message furnished by the National Football League.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start. Bud Light, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. And by Oldsmobile, who invite you to test drive a new Oldsmobile soon at your nearest Oldsmobile dealer.
We're back here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay as we start the second quarter. Brent Fullwood savoring a 30-yard touchdown pass and run, and most of it was the run to give the Packers a 10-0 lead over the Buccaneers as we start the second quarter with a kickoff. Max Zendejas will be doing the booting, and Donnie Elder is deep for Tampa Bay. Short kick. Hasn't had a chance to return a kick so far. Pillow has been the man, and he brings it out to the 19-yard line. Best starting field position, believe it or not, for the Buccaneers, their own 19.
That appears they're going to mark it at the 24, Dick, and this is their best field position. First time they've been outside the 20. They've started on the 18, the 16, and the 12. Let's see what they get started here.
Yeah, 19 was kind of back deep to say good things about it. You're right. First down. Lars Tate and James Wilder are the setbacks for the Bucs. Testaverde going up top. And the pass was intended for Mark Carrier, and covering was Mark Lee on the play. Vinny Testaverde told us yesterday that he likes playing on the road because the people may be booing you, but he knows that they're rooting for the other club anyway.
I know exactly how he feels. Early in my career, I had some of my better days on the road. I mean, on the football field, of course.
Second and 10, and the flip to Tate. May not make it back to the line of scrimmage. John Dorsey and Tim Harris were there for the Packers.
You feel the momentum start to really pile up on the Packers side of the ball. They're doing just about everything right now. Vinny's got to be patient, though. He's only down 10-0, second quarter. He's been getting good pass protection. He's just not getting anybody open in the secondary.
Tim Harris, a big factor thus far. Now it's 3rd and 10. 3 wide receivers. Jeff Smith replaces Tate, and the backer defense for Green Bay. Testaverde's pass, and nearly caught, and nearly a great catch by Carrier, who was open for the moment, and Mark Murphy put the sting on Carrier. It'll be 4th down, and coming in to kick will be Criswell.
When you're struggling, you need somebody to come up and make a big play. And this is a very difficult catch for Carrier. But if the Bucs are going to turn things around, get positive things happening, he's got to make that catch.
Criswell will kick, and there's Norman Jefferson. Good kick by Criswell. Jefferson back to his 40. Good coverage by the Buccaneers as he's dropped at the 42. 36-yard kick. Odie Harris, who was guilty of the penalty before for Tampa Bay, made the stop. We're early here in the third quarter, and a penalty marker is down. Second quarter, that is. Flag down.
Ineligible downfield. Number 43 kicking team. Penalty decline. First down.
That was William Howard, and the Packers, with good field position on their own 41-yard line, decline the penalty. And a timeout here at Lambeau Field will return.
No, Michael. I want it more Bud Light.
If you want the one light that outshines them all, ask for Bud Light.
Good, Joe. You're not sure?
Oh, but I could be.
Bud Light, because everything else is just a light.
Jill!
A message from Drexel Burnham.
The investment banking firm of Drexel Burnham believes increased employee ownership can help revitalize American companies. Here is Don Little, leader of the Inland Boatmen's Union.
A year ago, WFI Industries in Seattle was deeply in debt. Its tugs and barges were in foreclosure, and shipbuilding had come to a halt. 1,000 jobs had already been lost, and 500 more were on the line. The situation seemed hopeless. Then our union asked Drexel Burnham for help. Drexel, as one of the biggest employee-owned companies in the world, understood our problem. They worked out an agreement which has given the employees 73% ownership and the opportunity to save our jobs. It would have never happened without Drexel. They did their part, and now as the new owners, we have the chance to do ours.
Drexel Burnham, financing America's future.
Story here of our game between the Bucks and the Packers. Randy Wright has hit his last 5 passes, including a touchdown to Fullwood and the starting field position, and that is always a big story. Green Bay has had a big edge there. Tampa Bay can't get out of their own end. It is 10-0 in favor of the Packers. 13:49 to go in the second quarter. 1st and 10 for Green Bay. They come out with 2 tight ends. Fullwood is the back. Fullwood dives back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Kurt Jarvis on the stop. Sidney Coleman, a rookie free agent from southern Mississippi, has replaced Irvin Randall, who was shaken up before. He's on the sidelines for the Bucks.
With the 2 tight ends, you would expect the Packers to want to run the ball a little bit more. They have the lead now, 10-0, and now they're probably considering running a little bit of time off the clock, although here comes Hackett out of the ball game to be replaced by Walter Stanley.
So 1 tight end and 2 wide receivers make it 3 with 1 in the slot. Epps is 85 to the lower part of the picture. 2nd and 10. Right. And he's going that way to Philip Epps. The pass is caught just short of midfield, shy of a first down by about 3.5 yards. Ricky Reynolds, the cornerback, and Murphy, the linebacker, on the stop.
You see the receivers are over with Lindy Infante. He calls his plays, Lindy does, by using wide receivers as the messengers, and the reason he does this is to create a lot of confusion on the defensive side of the ball as to just what the personnel is that's in the ball game and what does that personnel mean as far as run or pass.
Irvin Randall, latest report is that he has a strained shoulder. Had been in briefly since he went out first. 4 wide receivers for the Packers on 3rd and 2, believe it or not, on their own 49. Fullwood fumbles, and in any event, the Packers won't have a first down, but the Buccaneers feel they have the ball, and they do. So the first turnover of the ball game, and the Buccaneers capitalize, and Chris Washington winds up with the ball on a Green Bay fumble by Fullwood.
This ball will just be ripped out of Fullwood's grasp here by number 97, Sean Lee. Really no excuse for that. Fumbles are really just a matter of concentration. Here you are, your number is called with 3rd and 2. You've got to make the play. You got to hang on to that ball. Not a lot of running room for Fullwood, but you got to at least hang on to the ball. This is the best field position Tampa's had all year.
Easily. Chris Washington did make the recovery. It's first down on the Green Bay 49 for the Bucks. James Wilder. Good running by Wilder to the 41-yard line. Ken Stills, the free safety, made the stop, and 9 yards on that carry by Wilder. 3 of their 4 possessions for the Buccaneers. They have punted 3 times. And their other possession, they went 9 plays before they kicked it away. There are scores around the league, and the Redskins are leading the Steelers 7-6. Anderson with a 24-yard field goal for Pittsburgh. Wilder has the first down for Tampa Bay. Burnell Dent on the tackle. So the deepest penetration right here for the Bucks, who trail the Packers 10-0.
One of the best things that can happen for Tampa right now is for James Wilder to really carry the load on this drive and get the Bucs into the end zone. He is still thought of by many players on that team as the main guy, the horse that they're going to ride today.
Despite the fact that he's coming off his least productive year in 6 seasons. 1st and 10 at the 38 for Tampa Bay. Testaverde nearly intercepted by Mark Lee. Pass was intended for Ron Hall, the tight end. That was a dangerous throw.
Again, a very similar pass as we saw earlier in the game, where you have 2 receivers in the same area. It appeared that Bruce Hill was breaking his route to the inside, and Ron Hall was on an out route, and they were both in the same area. But again, you got to believe that Mark Lee's got to make this catch. There you see the 2 receivers crossing, and Lee is right in the middle.
2nd and 10 at the Green Bay 38 for the Buccaneers. Testaverde gets a rush, and the pass is caught by Calvin McGee. Penalty marker is down, however. McGee is stopped at the 31 by Burnell Dent, but another penalty. They've been all against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers thus far in this game.
This one's going to be against the Packers, though. It's thrown in the secondary. Illegal use of the hands. That'll be an automatic first down.
That's a big one when you had a 3rd and 10 play that didn't get it. Testaverde is 4 for 11 right now. He's had missed his last 5 before McGee made that catch. And maybe he'll start to get some rhythm going, as Randy Wright had for the Packers.
The key to that will be pass protection.
Illegal use of hands, number 22 defense. First down.
It's Mark Lee, who nearly had an interception. So it'll be an automatic first down, of course, on the penalty, and the Buccaneers have a 1st and 10 on the Green Bay 33.
Mark Lee's having a little trouble with his hands. He drops an interception on one play, comes back and uses them illegally on the next.
He just wants to use those hands somewhere. Lars Tate, James Wilder in the backfield. Testaverde still 3 for 10. That one is no attempt. Tate brought back down by Robert Brown. Dent from the front, Brown from the back, and a gain of 1 on the play. Scores Atlanta leading New Orleans 14-3 as Boyarsky, remember, he had the jammed thumb, and he's hurting right now.
And that appears to be his wrist now. This is a tough guy. Anybody that has to play nose tackle has got to play with a lot of little bangs and injuries. How can anybody with an arm that big get hurt there?
You tell me. That happens.
And again, another injury to the defensive line of the Packers. And again, they're going to go with the backer defense.
Jeff Smith replaces Lars Tate in the backfield for Tampa Bay. 2nd and 9. Testaverde. Wilder. Did he hold on? And apparently he did. And a fine catch by James Wilder. John Anderson makes the stop at the 27-yard line. A gain of 5. Great catch here.
Great catch and a fine play by Testaverde. He sees the blitz coming from the outside, and the one guy that's not covered is James Wilder, but that's an outstanding grab. And also he had the presence of mind to get up and crawl for another yard or so.
Well, they had Smith carry and Tate carry, and they said, let's go with the veteran Wilder, and it seems to have worked. 3rd and 4 at the 27. Testaverde and has Smith. Smith the first down and more. Down to the 5-yard line. Mark Murphy made the stop that may have prevented a touchdown, but a 22-yard pickup from Testaverde to Jeff Smith, and it's 1st and goal, Tampa Bay.
Notice on the left, Jeff Smith going in motion. He'll cut right underneath. Great throw by Testaverde, and now watch this block by Bruce Hill, giving Smith yardage down inside the 5.
What is Testaverde doing now that you see better than what he was doing earlier?
One of his real assets is he sees well in the pocket. He sees the entire field, knows where people are, knows where he wants to go with the ball.
1st and goal from the 5 for the Buccaneers. Penalty marker down. Smith gets to about the 3. Burnell Dent made the stop, but another flag. The Buccaneers are playing with, in essence, 3 tight ends. Ron Hall, Calvin McGee, and Mark Cooper, a tackle also. in a tight end position, and it appears to be against Green Bay, and it is.
This is another one of those lining up in the neutral zone type of penalties against the defensive lineman.
Buccaneers trying to get back in this one.
Offside, lining up in the neutral zone, the nose guard, still first down.
You're right. So it's still a 1st and goal at the 2.
That new nose guard that lined up offsides was offensive lineman Tom Neville.
Yeah.
Can't really blame him, can you? Hasn't been over there much.
1st and goal at the 2. Tate close to the goal line and in for the touchdown. Lars Tate with his first NFL touchdown. 2nd round draft pick this year out of Georgia. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are back in the game, trailing now 10-6. Tampa Bay taking advantage of a turnover, the fumble at midfield. And Lars Tate goes over for Tampa Bay. It is now a 10-6 game, and Donald Igwe-Bike out there to make it a 10-7 affair. Ray Criswell will hold for Tampa Bay with 9:20 remaining in the first half.
And the Bucs are missing an offensive lineman for this extra point. They have about 20 seconds to get it off. Should be no problem.
John Bruin, a rookie, who they think a lot of, has come in there. Igwe-Bike. He's perfect. And so the crowd quieted somewhat by the Buccaneers, who smartly took advantage of the turnover. Vinny Testaverde looked his best, and it's now a 10-7 game.
Bring on the city, bring on the night, bring on the highway, clear out of sight. Bring on excitement, yeah.
Fully wrapped, restyled, and ready to go. From America's Rapid Transit Authority, the dramatic new Grand Am.
We build excitement.
We're not a company, but no company has more pride in what they do, or more pride in how well they do it. We offer you a meaningful and fulfilling future, one that goes far beyond the ordinary, one that brings with it the respect and admiration of Americans everywhere. We're not a company, we're your country. We're the Air Force, the Marines, the Army, the Navy. We're the Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
It's been a 4-year dream, and for one super athlete, the dream is worth its weight in gold.
Now that's the American dream.
Expect the unexpected on an unpredictable hour of laughs, music, variety, and surprises on Live. Dick Clark Presents, premiering Wednesday on CBS.
Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts back at Lambeau Field in Green Bay on a marvelous afternoon, and the Packers leading the Buccaneers 10-7 as Tampa Bay just scored. Took advantage of a fumble and went 49 yards in 7 plays. Donald Igwe-Bike will kick off for the Buccaneers, and back Brent Fullwood and Norman Jefferson for Green Bay. Kick headed over toward Fullwood at the goal line. Fullwood with a head of steam into Tampa territory. And Igwe-Bike knocks him out of bounds with a brilliant return and a penalty marker down at midfield. 64-yard return, but a flag down.
We're going to have a personal foul penalty against the Packers. Actually, offsides. What it was is that Tiger Green broke the offside line on the kickoff and went after one of the Bucs, tried to slow him up.
Offside in the kick, number 23 receiving team.
You're right.
Re-kick,
Did you see
5-yard
Green
penalty.
then commit a personal foul after that?
Well, he did take a pretty good shot at the guy and up around his helmet area.
You guys don't like that kind of stuff.
Well, we have words for it. I tell you what, though, I know that Lindy Infante is going to be real upset with this offsides, though. How can you be offsides on a penalty, on a kickoff like this? What it really hurts is turns out to be about a 65-yard penalty against the Packers. Great return by Fullwood.
Well, he won't return this one. He's got to be exhausted. Sterling Sharp, the #1 pick out of South Carolina, has joined Norman Jefferson. Sharp is number 84 to the right. So all that great run by Fullwood, 64 yards, goes for naught. Kickoff sails into the end zone, and it'll be down there by Jefferson. And right now, for an NFL Today report, let's check in with Brent Musburger in New York. Brent, what do you have?
Well, Dick, after falling behind by 7 to the Giants, the 49ers have rallied now. Doug DeVos up over the top. They earlier kicked a field goal. So San Francisco leads New York. It's 10-7 right now. About 7 minutes to go until the half. Let's go back to Dick.
Well, maybe they'll decide it on a 48-yard field goal, as you had last night at South Bend in an exciting CFA college football game won by Notre Dame. 1st and 10 at the 20. That's the worst starting field position for the Packers with 8:59 to go in the first half. Keith Woodside is in the game for the first time, and he'll get the call. Woodside gets a couple. He is a rookie from Texas A&M. Lindy Infante had planned to use him last week, and he says he'll play this week for sure.
Is really the type of player that Lindy likes in that tailback position. He has the ability to be a runner, as he was on that play, but he also has the athletic ability to be a wide receiver type. And Lindy likes to call that being out in space, where he breaks out of the backfield in motion or lines up as a wide receiver.
2nd and 7 on the 23 for the Packers. They lead 10-7. Completes the pass to Walter Stanley. It'll be good enough for a first down at the 34. Bobby Futrell defending on the play.
Woodside was flanked outside of Stanley on that play, and they both ran simple hook patterns, and quarterback has to decide which guy's open. Right went to the right guy.
He's got a lot of right guys, actually. When you look at Philip Epps, who was a late holdout, and Walter Stanley, Perry Kemp, who played under Infante at Jacksonville and at Cleveland, and the rookie Sterling Sharp. And Wright has hit 7 in a row. He's got a first down on his own 34. Woodside, the up back, by the way, is Paul Otkaruth. Wright up the middle. Stanley again with another great catch and a first down. And Paul Otkaruth. The middle, Stanley again with another great catch and a first down in Tampa Bay territory. And now the official enters the play and says no catch. The first call was that it was a good catch, and then they said no.
Well, we'll take a look at it and see what we think. Wright drops it in the hole nicely. Stanley must have bobbled it when he hit the ground. That's a tough call.
Now we wonder whether they're taking a look at this, and apparently they're not.
If they had that replay, which they did, the replay referee is looking at the same picture we just saw. There's no way he can tell.
Wright had hit 7 in a row. 1st and 10. 2nd and 10 at the 34. Wright to the air again to Stanley, and this time the acrobatic Walter Stanley can't hold on to that high pass. Futrell defending on the play.
That's one thing that's plagued Randy Wright a great deal in his career. We have a penalty flag on the play, though, Dick.
And it appears to be against the Buccaneers. They're marching off 5 yards to the 39.
Offside, lined up in the neutral zone, number 90 defense, still 2nd down.
Ron Holmes.
We might have to electrify that neutral zone, get these guys out of it, Dick.
Looking at the Packers' first 4 possessions. They scored when they opened up in Tampa Bay territory.
Sure they did. It's easy. Less field to go.
But they coughed it up when they had good field position the last time, and they lost that momentum you were talking about. 2nd and 5 at the 39 for the Packers. Ball at Caruth. First down. Good effort by Caruth to the 47-yard line. What did Funny say about Caruth? He says he may be the one back who really knows what's going on all the way around.
Well, when you have a new offense, you got to have somebody that knows what they're doing. Paul Ott is very dependable. He knows all his assignments, but he also can help with some of the younger running backs in the game when they have a question as to what their assignment is.
The two safeties, Robinson and Hamilton, made the stop, so on Caruth's first carry, he picks up a nifty 7. First down at the 46 of Green Bay. 6:45 remaining, first half, 10-7 Packers. Caruth, maybe a yard. Kevin Murphy, the outside linebacker on the left side, was there. 2nd and long.
Packers have been running left a lot behind their big tackle on the left side, number 75, Ken Rutgers. Rutgers did not play last week. He missed a great deal of the preseason with a chipped bone in his left shoulder.
They have a good left side. Rich Moran, who we had a chance to talk with yesterday, has been around a while. Ken Rutgers. The problem they had was Keith Euchre last week on the right side. 2nd and 9 at the 47. Wright flips it out to Woodside. Gets into Bucs territory and spins his way to the first down. Hamilton and Robinson on the stop. Now you know why Lindy and Funny wants to get the rookie Keith Woodside in the game.
Well, the big thing you want in any type of pass play is good pass protection. Rutgers with that the good job there right now against Harry Swain. This is really what Lindy's all he could ask for in a little screenplay like this, about a 10-yard gain. Great athletic ability, and I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a lot more of Woodside today.
Well, there are those open spaces you would refer to. That was that kind of a play. First down at the 42. And Woodside slips and is trapped as the Buccaneers stormed in, and a loss on the play of maybe 5 yards. Winston Moss.
Stormed in is right. He had no place to run on that one. There's Irvin Randall on the sidelines. He appears to have a bit of a shoulder problem, whether it's a slight separation or what, we can't tell, obviously, but he is their best defensive lineman, according to their defensive coordinator and according to a lot of people. In fact, he made the NFL Films Hit of the Year last year in '87 with his great hit on the Chicago Bear, Neil Anderson.
Well, Ray Perkins has some defensive people to build with, including Winston Moss, who made that last play. Loss of 4 that time. 2nd down. Right to Epps. And Epps, incomplete, out of bounds, was defended by Ricky Reynolds. So it'll be a 3rd and 13 now.
Wright's blowing hot and cold, Dick. He hit about 5 or 6 in a row there. Now he's just missed on his last 3, and he's just been a little bit off the target. When you got a quarterback that has had some problems in his consistency, you start looking for plays like that that just barely are made completions.
He was under pressure last week, was sacked 6 times. We've had no quarterback sacks today. 3rd down and long at the 46 of Tampa Bay. Wright running for his life. Cross field, Epps the intended receiver, and the crowd does not like that play by Randy Wright. But he was under siege.
He was under siege, but what the fans are complaining about is he had a lot of green grass in front of him, and maybe he should have run the ball, but that's not his strong point. His strong point is staying in the pocket and throwing in that position. The other guy on the sidelines can run like that, though, Mikowski.
I was going to say, Don Bracken.
He is really the crowd's favorite, too. Everybody wants to see Mikowski play today.
Or the guy who's not starting. Bracken will be kicking, and Jeff Smith goes back deep for Tampa Bay. 4:12 remaining in the half. High kick, not a long one, and a fair catch called for by Smith in a crowd. And he makes the catch at the 25. That'll be a 20-yard kick, but no return. And that's the key thing there. That's the time remaining in the first half, and a timeout.
to those who, with a boundless energy and burning spirit, live to be the best, comes a salute from those of us who live by the same values, the U.S. Armed Forces.
I'd go to college.
Me too.
If I had the money.
Yeah.
I'm going to college on the new GI Bill. You serve full-time in the armed forces or part-time in the reserves, and you earn a lot of money for tuition.
The U.S. Armed Forces. It's a great place to start.
You hear the thunder, the call of the road. You feel excitement. Get on your Pontiac and ride.
A sports sedan that moves like a ground-level flying machine. Big, fast, and powerful. Pontiac Bonneville. Test one soon.
Get on your Pontiac. We build excitement.
For great personal service and low everyday prices, check the lineup at your neighborhood True Value hardware store, where the September True Value of the month is True Test Weatherall Siliconized Acrylic Latex Caulk. Our finest quality caulk puts a weather-tough seal around windows, doors, and siding and won't crack or shrink. In September, white True Test Weatherall caulk is just 99 cents, where you see the banner at participating True Value hardware stores and home centers.
Conference collisions. The Vikings try to overthrow the Bears. The Giants take on the Cowboys. A doubleheader next Sunday on CBS Sports.
Well, both Tampa Bay and Green Bay trying to make a comeback from defeat in this game, and Florida State lost to Miami. They like to make a comeback against a good club, Clemson, next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern.
Amazing thing is these two teams haven't played in 12 years. 1976, Clemson won that game 15-12.
Well, Clemson hopes they have a national title in the offing. Death Valley the scene. Next week, college football on CBS. 1st and 10 at the 26. James Wilder has room. And the first down for Wilder. He has come alive in a big way and carries it out to the 45-yard line, a gain of 19. Mark Murphy and Ken Stills on the stop. Well, you mentioned the guy who likes to run, Makowski, who's got the visor on the sideline for Green Bay.
Interesting contrast in the two quarterbacks. Here you've got Randy Wright, who is not a mobile quarterback, and then they got a guy on the sidelines with a nickname of Magic, who likes to run and likes to create a lot of excitement for the fans.
First down at the 46 of Tampa Bay. 3:23 to go in the half. Wilder again gets by Anderson and dives forward and nearly has a first down, and he's blown dead. No fumble. The ball was blown dead at the 47 of Green Bay. That's Nate Hill, but no recovery. Burnell Dent made the tackle.
We'll take a look to see what caused this fumble. Mark Lee, number 22, he's not a factor. Looks like the ground just caused it. And as we all know, the ground cannot cause a fumble. Once he's down, he's down.
I've always believed that.
You'd make a good referee.
Don't say that. Wilder has gained 35 yards and 6 carries. He's still the lone back on 2nd and 1 for the Bucks on the Pack 45. And it's Wilder again. First down. And a little more. Icing to the Green Bay 40. Burnell Dent again on the tackle. So the Buccaneers, who were down 10-0, trailing now 10-7, would like to at least tie this game and maybe go ahead before intermission. Jerry Boyarski has a fractured left arm. We told you he went for x-rays. It's bad news, and so he's out.
And that is really starting to show up now, the different injuries that they've had on this defensive line. The Bucs have run 3 times in a row. Each time they've gotten a good yardage.
First down for Tampa Bay on the 40. And the 2-minute warning has arrived. So a chance for the Bucs to talk things over offensively. We'll be back.
Bring on the city, bring on the night, bring on the highway, clear out of sight. Bring on excitement, yeah. Riding Pontiac. Get on your Pontiac and ride.
Fully wrapped, restyled, and ready to go. From America's Rapid Transit Authority, the dramatic new Grand Am.
Get on your Pontiac. We build excitement.
This is
a machine designed to keep you on time. And this is what makes it tick. People. Working together with clock-like precision, each dedicated to keeping you on schedule. Time after time after time. American Airlines, the on-time machine.
For every man who wears Brute deodorant, there's a woman who'll always be glad that he did. Because a man who wears Brute deodorant is nice to be close to. Brute, it smells like a man.
Great.
This year, as the Olympic spirit burns proudly in your heart, why not wear this proudly on your chest? Michelob Light's free U.S. Olympic team pin. Visit this display for details.
2 minutes to go in the first half, and Tampa Bay has a first down on the Packer 40. Last week, the Buccaneers were able to run only 15 times against Philadelphia because they fell behind so early. They've already run 16 times today.
And there's the comparison in the rushing yards. Already today, 20 yards more almost.
Weiler has 45 of the 62. First down at the 40. Testaverde, short, intended for Carrier. He got some pressure from Tim Harris, though.
If you are successful running the ball 1, 2, 3, 4 times in a row, you're going to see a blitz when everybody comes up, because they're coming up basically not to rush the passer, but they're trying to fill all the gaps along the offensive line. They're trying to stop the run. That's what the Packers did that time. Good pressure on Testaverde.
Two tight ends in for Tampa Bay, McGee and Hall. Wilder, the one back. He's had a glorious second quarter. 1:56 on the clock. Buccaneers still with 2 timeouts left. Wilder on the sweep. Hit a couple of times, and it was David Brown. They get Mark Lee with Murphy as well.
Tampa's kind of floundering a little bit here, Dick. They had a nice drive going, and now they get into the positive end of the field for them. And you would expect them to continue on down the field, but at that 2-minute warning, it seemed like they lost a little concentration or a little momentum, and now they're faced with a tough 3rd and 10. And make it a 3rd and 11.
Yeah, and the fact that Green Bay could get their hands on the ball again with a lot of time to go and all of their timeouts.
They need about 15 yards to be in field goal position to tie this up.
3rd and 11 at the 41. Jeff Smith goes in motion. And a marker down. About 4 of them down, as a matter of fact. And we have a couple of people who would like to maybe get to know each other better. Tim Harris, one. Here's Jerry Seaman.
Well, Tim Harris is in the middle of this one. He's talking a lot of trash.
That's what he says.
Encroachment prior to the snap. Nose guard. Still 3rd down.
Harris is what you call a hybrid. He's a combination defensive end and linebacker, and now he's also a commentator. Got to give him my job. Yeah, he'll talk to anybody. What they try to do is just create a little confusion with his opponent, try to get him out of his game, try to get him concentrating more on Mr. Harris and on his assignment.
Well, the Packers now bring in Nate Hill. They're going with more defensive linemen, not that they have that many. On 3rd and 6 for Tampa Bay on the 36 of Green Bay. Testaverde. And Ron Hall is unable to hold on to that pass. Tim Harris defending on the play. That would have been a first down if he had held, but not, and it's 4th down. And Igwe will come on and maybe try a field goal.
Now we'll see what Harris does in the pass defense part of the game. Hall releases inside, and he's open. The ball is right on the nose. Got to make that catch.
It'll be a 53-yard attempt. Igwe, his first field goal attempt of the season. Criswell holds. This is the tie. And the kick is good. It just barely went over the crossbar and might have skimmed it, Dan, you think?
Most definitely. Great kick by Iggy.
That's his nickname. Donald Igwe-Bike mobbed by his teammates. And with 1 minute and 40 seconds remaining in the first half, we have a tie game, 10-10.
This ball will just skim the crossbar and go over.
A little wind-aided, huh?
Well, it looks strong all the way, but if you look at the flags right now, they're limp. They're not blowing as strong as they were earlier in the game when Zendejas kicked his 50-yarder.
Well, coming up next on CBS Sports, top-seeded Ivan Lendl goes for his 4th consecutive U.S. Open Tennis Championship when he faces 2nd seed Mats Wilander, who's seeking his 3rd Grand Slam title this year. The only one he hasn't won so far has been Wimbledon.
And it wasn't that fun yesterday watching Steffi Graf and Gabriela Sabatini battle. Outstanding second set. Both girls are playing at the top of their game. Steffi was just too much. Oh, I wish I had a forehand like that.
Lendl and Wilander met last year. Lendl won in 4 sets, but it was a marathon, and we'll see whether Wilander takes any chances and comes to the net. They're baseliners. So it's 10-10 now, and deep for the Packers, Norman Jefferson and Sterling Sharp. Igwe-Bike booting it. And it's Jefferson on the goal line. Down at the 23-yard line by Chris Washington. Coming up at halftime on the NFL Today, Brent Irv and Dick Butkus will fill you in with all the scores and highlights. They'll also have a report from the U.S. Open, where Lendl and Wilander will go at it, as we've mentioned. That's all coming up at halftime on the NFL Today. Norman Jefferson is shaken up. He was the kick returner.
He's not having a real good September, Dick. He had a rough week last week against the Rams with a couple of fumbles on kick returns. Very popular player. Had an excellent summer with a couple of returns for touchdowns. And now he's come up lame.
Might have been a knee. Let's see it.
Twisted knee for Norman Jefferson is the preliminary indication here. Yeah, he went down right there with he had no power with that left knee.
And he's going to be helped off the field. So they've already lost Boyarski with a fractured arm.
That's why I would never return kickoffs, no matter how much they wanted me to. It's just too physical.
Well, you know, your speed would have broken NFL standards. You know, there's no question about it.
Thank you. A lot of time left, though, in this first half. 1 minute and 35 seconds. The Packers will be looking to move the ball down the field, possibly get Zendejas in field goal position.
And because of the injury, a charged timeout to the Packers, so they have 2 timeouts remaining, as do the Buccaneers.
Yeah, that's a strange rule. Here a guy gets hurt, and they charge a timeout. The reason they do that is so that players don't fake injuries at this part of the game to stop the clock.
Paul Otkaruth is the one back. 1st and 10 for the Packers on their own 24. 1:35 on the clock. Randy Wright's pass caught by Stanley, out of bounds, just short of first down yardage. Bobby Futrell and Rod Jones defending, stops the clock with 1:30 remaining. By the way, that field goal by Igwe-Bike of 53 yards is not his career long kick. 2 years ago against the Vikings, he hit a 55-yarder. So Tampa Bay likes his long-range ability.
A long name and a long leg.
2nd and 2 at the 31. 4 wideouts for the Packers here. They've used 4 wide receivers on 3rd and 2nd and 2 so far today. Right. And it's incomplete. Patrick Scott had a shot at the ball, and Rod Jones was the defender. It went over his head, and I wonder whether Scott might have been screened by Jones.
Most definitely. This ball went through Jones's hands, it appeared, but this play was kind of doomed from the beginning. You saw Wright kind of fumble the snap. Here's the tail end of the play, and he did deflect it, and that made it very difficult for Kemp to make the catch.
3rd and 2. The Packers are 1 for 5 on 3rd down conversions. On the draw, Caruth goes nowhere, and he's set back. So the Boo Birds are alive again.
And the Boo Birds are after Randy Wright, but they got to be after the guys calling the plays. This second time they've had a 3rd and 2 or 3, and they've run the draw play. The first time Brent Fullwood fumbled the ball, and now they don't pick up the necessary yards. They got to punt the ball into the wind back to Tampa with 1 minute and 11 seconds to go in the first half.
Buccaneers calling their second timeout. They have one left. That was John Cannon, who came in and met Mr. Carruth head on. So Giants and 49ers right where we are at 10-10 in the second quarter. Ray Perkins with Vinny Testaverde, and what does he say? Just do your job. Don't worry about other people's problems.
Exactly. Just go back there, make the proper reads, throw the ball to where you believe in your heart is the right place. Don't worry about the protection. Don't worry about what your running backs are doing or not doing. Don't worry about anything but concentrating on Vinny Testaverde and executing as best as you can. He's got all the talent in the world. He just has to learn to be a little more patient and believe in himself a little more.
And it takes time. I mean, you can't rush these things, right? You know.
Well, he's had a lot of hype, a lot of pressure. Heisman Trophy, great college career. Things are a little different in the NFL, though.
Don Bracken will kick, and Jeff Smith is back for Tampa Bay. Good kick by Bracken. Smith at the 27. Stopped just short of the 35-yard line with exactly a minute to go in the half. 44-yard kick by Bracken, and Burnell Dent made the stop. So with one timeout left, Tampa Bay will try to take a lead. Well, next Sunday, starting with the NFL Today, CBS Sports presents an NFL doubleheader. The Packers go to Miami to Joe Robbie Stadium against Marino and the Miami Dolphins. Minnesota-Chicago, a big matchup in the NFC Central. Phoenix against Tampa Bay. The Buccaneers home for the second time this year against Phoenix. Check your local listings. We also have a second half of that doubleheader. Inside handoff to Wilder. Just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Second half of the doubleheader to complete our menu for next week. The Giants against the Dallas Cowboys. NFC East battle, 4 o'clock Eastern time. It all begins with the NFL Today. Testaverde on 2nd and 10 completes the pass to midfield. Bruce Hill on the catch, and the Buccaneers will use their last timeout right here.
Well, they've run 2 plays in over half a minute. The first play was a draw play, got them absolutely nothing. Now they throw the ball over the middle, across the almost to midfield. But the problem here is they use too much time at this time of the game. You've got to be more efficient with your offense, and I've got to place some of the blame on the coach here as far as getting Vinny to do the things necessary to get some points on the board.
Reminder coming up at halftime. The NFL Today will bring you up to date with scores and highlights of the action today. The U.S. Open follows later today with Lendl and Villander. That's the men's final. You'll get a report on that. So stay with us to bring you up to date on the second week of action in the National Football League.
No timeouts left for Tampa. The only way they can stop the clock now is either get the ball completed and the guy run out of bounds, or to throw incompletion.
First down at the 49. 32 seconds to go. Testaverde lost his footing for the moment. And he completes the pass out of bounds to Stephen Starring, his first reception in a Tampa Bay uniform. It's good for 13 yards and a first down. They're getting closer to field goal range. Tiger Green on the stop.
As we've seen today, field goal range is a long way today. 150-yarder and a 54-yarder, both at this direction of the field.
24 seconds remain. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the top of your picture. Testaverde, Carrier, the intended receiver, and he was covered by the 35-year-old veteran David Brown. That'll stop the clock, but they need yards. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Well, if they have to kick a field goal now, it'll be right around 55 yards. Got a little breeze behind him. Coach Perkins is like me. He had a little bit of trouble with Iggy's last name. He calls him Donald Kicker.
That's always easy. What does he say, Vinny quarterback?
No, not when you're a Heisman Trophy winner. You learn that one.
2nd and 10 at the 38, 18 seconds to go. Testaverde in trouble. Down at the 41. They're out of field goal range with 13 seconds to go, and they better hurry up. Scott Stephen made the play.
Going to try a field goal now from about 59 yards.
That's all. 5 seconds. You watch the clock. Officially, it's 58. Here's the kick, and it's no good. Not even close as time runs out. Well, they gave it a shot, but the Buccaneers came up empty. But after trailing 10-0, the Packers had that lead after 1 quarter. The Bucs came back to tie it up. Igwe Bike, 53-yarder. Zendejas started the scoring on the day with a 50-yarder. Fullwood caught a 30-yard pass and run, and Tate scored from a yard. So we're dead even, and that's the end of the first half with the score 10-10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Michelob. Michelob is a proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. Pontiac, we build excitement. And by American Airlines, something special in the air.
The road is filled with all kinds of surprises and hazards.
Hey!
That's why if you want a smooth, comfortable ride...
Boy, do I need a smooth, comfortable ride.
Get a set of Monroe Gasmatic shocks or struts. They'll give you the best ride ever, guaranteed. They're so good...
Hey, great ride.
They'll even help you handle the curves. No wonder America rides Monroe shocks and struts.
Oh, yeah.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Understanding. It's knowing that buying a new house often means finding new ways to save, even if that means bagging your lunch.
You want whole wheat or rye?
Give me rye.
And Allstate can help with a new house discount that could save you 15% on homeowners insurance.
You want mustard or mayo?
Mayo.
And 15% could buy lots of hot lunches.
You want mixed fruit or pudding?
Do you want the truth?
The Allstate new house discount. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
Welcome back to our New York studios. You know, yesterday Steffi Graf made tennis history at the U.S. Open, and later today the men can make some history of their own. And for a report, let's go to Tim Ryan and Mary Carrillo.
You're looking at the National Tennis Center, empty now, but later this afternoon it will be filled to capacity to watch the men's championship final. Ivan Lendl, the top seed, against number 2 seeded Mats Wilander. And Mary Carrillo, certainly Ivan Lendl hoping to maybe have his piece of tennis history. Yesterday was Steffi Graf's day, completing her Grand Slam. If he should win here, he'll be the first man to win 4 U.S. Open titles in a row, the first to do so since Bill Tilden.
That would really be something, and history means an awful lot to Ivan Lendl. But Mats Wilander has got a lot to prove, too. In 1988, he won the Australian, the first leg of the Grand Slam, and the French. If he were to win the U.S. Open, you would have to consider him to be #1 in the world. And, in fact, if he does beat Ivan, when the next computer ranking comes out on Monday, he'll be #1.
Well, yesterday, Ivan Lendl had to get by young Andre Agassi. He was the crowd favorite, the #4 seed, the young American who represents the future of American men's tennis. But Ivan Lendl was not intimidated at all, despite dropping the first set to the 18-year-old Agassi and having to deal with some points like this. But in the end, the stoic play of Ivan Lendl and the superiority of his experience and shot making, as usual, prevailed over a younger opponent. Here at match point, he was too much for Agassi. 6-4 in the fourth, and afterwards, Pat O'Brien talked to him about what it'll be like if he can win 4 in a row.
1 was great, 2 was incredible, 3 was unbelievable, and 4, you know, it's better than that. But it will be a tough match tomorrow. Mats is playing well, and I'm sure he wants it as badly as I do.
Well, last year, Mats Wilander took Ivan Lendl to 4 hours, 47 minutes of grueling tennis over 4 sets. Indeed, it was played a day later. Because of a rain delay on the Sunday, the championship played a day late. Lendl, not in top physical condition, nonetheless went on to win his 3rd U.S. Open championship and is now on the threshold of the 4th. He'll meet the same man he met a year ago. What do you think?
Well, I picked Lendl at the beginning of the tournament, so I'm not going to change my mind. But I think if Mats is aggressive and takes more chances, he could surprise us all.
Okay, well, it should be an exciting match this afternoon. It's coming up at 4 o'clock Eastern Time. Right now, we take you back across the river to the NFL Today.
Irv, who do you like, Lendl or Wilander?
Ivan Lendl's my guy.
I don't know that much about tennis, so I like Stars and Straight by about 5 minutes.
All right. We'll have that tennis match for you at 4 o'clock Eastern Time on CBS, and our halftime coverage continues after this.
Next Sunday, it all starts with the NFL Today. Join Brent, Irv, Will, and Butkus, followed by 2 conference collisions. Last season, they were the surprise playoff power. Now the Vikings hope to power themselves past their Central Division nemesis, the Bears, recharged with Jim McMahon. Then the Giants and their demolition defense are out to derail Herschel and the Cowboys. A doubleheader of NFL rivalries next Sunday on CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
The spirit of lacrosse on 8.
Some people don't believe you can stand up to the special interests in Washington. And I've been criticized for spending my own money and turning down contributions from PACs and lobbyists. Well, I'm not a politician. I've spent my life running a business, not running for office. I've created jobs, balanced budgets, and learned how to cut waste. And the most important thing I learned at Kohl's was that the best ideas came from the people who work there. So I'll make you one promise. If you send me to the Senate, I'll work my heart out every day to do what's right. And I won't be anybody's senator but yours.
Why would NSP give you a rebate just for buying new energy-efficient appliances? Because they conserve energy. And saving energy helps NSP postpone construction of costly new power plants. A new energy-efficient water heater, refrigerator freezer, room or central air conditioner, or heat pump will also make sizable savings on your electric bill. See an appliance dealer. Enjoy NSP rebates and energy cost savings every day.
One of the largest sales of home furnishings in western Wisconsin is now in progress. Jensen Furniture of Arcadia is going out of business. Over $1 million of quality home furnishings will be liquidated at up to 70% off. If you've ever wanted to buy quality home furnishings at huge savings, this is the sale for you. Jensen Furniture is going out of business. Highway 93 Arcadia. Shop Monday through Friday, 10 till 8, Saturday, 10 till 5, and Sunday, noon till 4.
Well, let's put aside the tennis and the yacht racing, and let's get to what matters, the football scores. Irv, you've been watching the Giants and the Niners. They're tied at 10 at the half. What about that game?
Really a great game. It looked like the San Francisco 49ers were going to blow it out early in the ball game, but 2 turnovers in the first half kept the Giants in the game, and then late in the half, Phil Simms got the Giants going. They kicked a 36-yard field goal with 10 seconds left to tie at 10-10. Pretty good ball game.
All right, Irv, and of course the main storyline when the game started, Joe Montana on the sidelines, elbow injury, signaling in the plays for Coach Walsh. Was this a fumble, Irv, crossed by Young?
Well, I don't think it was. The rule says if your arm is coming forward, it's an incomplete pass. Now watch this. Takes that left hand back and swings it forward. The ball comes out of there. Should be incomplete. It was ruled a fumble. The Giants recovered and took advantage of it.
Quickly, Simms went to Manuel, 12 yards, the extra point by Allegre, and it was 7-0, and Simms led the cheers. Doug DeBose scoring the 49ers' first touchdown, then they added that field goal, and San Francisco and New York head for the second half, tied at 10. Dick Butkus, the Bears, leading Indianapolis 10-6. Tough defensive game?
Defensive game. Brent, Eric Dickerson has 44 yards total in the first half, so it's a seesaw, back and forth kind of a deal here. I think a break in the second half could turn out to be the major thing.
What'd you think about Jim McMahon's touchdown pass that we're going to show the audience here, the Dennis Gentry?
Well, that was a great pass because, you know, he really took a shot, you know, as he was throwing the ball, and that came after a penalty on the punter. And here it is to Gentry, who Gentry is playing out wide receiver this time. Now here we have, you know, we're talking about William Perry playing defensive end, which allows Dan Hampton. He beat his guard and didn't make the tackle, but here comes Steve McMichael and Richard Dent making the sack, and Trudeau got hurt on this play.
You love to see those defensive.
No, I don't like to see the guys getting hurt. Right?
Well, I know that. All right. Now, in the second half, Miami and Buffalo, low-scoring game. Hard to believe Dan Marino was shut down a week ago in Chicago, and now he's having trouble up in Buffalo this afternoon. The game you're watching, they are tied, the Battle of the Bays, as the Buccaneers come back. And this is a slick run here by Brent Fullwood. Those of you who are Packer fans, you were pulling for him to get loose on the kickoff return. Hard to believe it was called back because of an offsides penalty in that situation. But how about Lars Tate of Georgia here for the Buccaneers, Irv?
Looks like he's trying out for the track team. Here he goes on a long jump from the 4-yard line and scores.
And they're deadlocked at 10 as the result. Atlanta leading New Orleans right now. Chris Miller, he's the hot quarterback in the NFC. He has a couple of touchdown passes. This was his first one as he goes to Ken Wisenhunt from 12 yards out. Dick, you made a point about the safeties on this second one. He went to Alex Higdon.
Well, that was some of the problems they were having last week against the 49ers. And here the rookie tight end takes one in. Well, that was on the sideline. But here comes Hebert right back.
Yeah, that was a big play late. They missed the extra point, and so that's why we stand at 14-12 right now. Pittsburgh leading Washington. That is a field goal difference at the half there. And in baseball now, Cleveland and the Red Sox, they are tied at 1 in that game. Meanwhile, up at Yankee Stadium, they have gone to the 4th inning with the Yankees leading the Tigers 2-1. The NFL today continues second half. Tampa Bay and Green Bay in just a moment.
Seoul, a city of contrasts. And in the restaurants, shops, and hotels, they're proud to welcome the American Express card.
Over 28 million adults get athlete's foot.
I'm Jim Bird. I had athlete's foot until I used NP27. It has an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Look, NP27 stops the burning, itching of athlete's foot fast.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
In just 1 week, I lost enough weight to actually see the difference.
The Slim Fast Pledge. Give us a week. We'll take off the weight. Each Slim Fast shake is a delicious, nutritious, low-calorie meal.
1 week and the weight was gone.
Give us a week. We'll take off the weight.
When you're worth $100 million and running for the Senate, you start with a big lead. But as a candidate, Herb Coles fumbled the ball. Like when an interviewer asked Herb a simple question.
Can you identify the Secretary of Defense? The Secretary of... Can I what?
Or his crack that as owner of a basketball team, he gave blacks their most meaningful jobs. Or his endorsement of Mexico's plan to steal our factories with cheap labor. If Herb can't handle the ball as a candidate, can he really play in the U.S. Senate?
Instead of overlooking Wisconsin's medical commitment to quality, look again. From Gunderson Clinic to Marshfield to Madison as well as Milwaukee, leading-edge medicine in Wisconsin is not found in congested metropolitan centers, but located where it should be, next to where people live. We're proud to be a part of this fine tradition.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by AT&T, the right choice. Mercedes-Benz, engineered like no other car in the world. And by Coors Light, there's no slowing down with a silver bullet. It's the right beer now.
Back to Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Sellout crowd as usual here at the home of the Pack. We're at halftime with the Buccaneers and the Packers are all tied 10-10. Tampa Bay trailed 10-0 and came back and tied it up. Dick Stockton with Dan Fouts. You see anything in a tight, taut first half game that could be an indication of what may decide this thing?
Well, turnovers are a big part of last week's game for both of these teams. I got to believe that we haven't seen the last of the turnovers today. It's also been a game of field position. It seems like both teams have scored in the second quarter. The first quarter there was all Green Bay. Second quarter was all Tampa Bay, and they've both times field position has decided when they scored.
Well, we know we had 2 long field goals and 2 touchdowns in the game, 1 for each club. But what did the coaches feel that they wanted to do as far as dividing up the pass versus the run in the game? Ray Perkins, for example, didn't get a chance to run much at all last week.
No, he told us earlier in the week that he wanted to run between 30 and 40 times today. He has already got at least half of that, and in order for his young team to do well, they've got to feel good about their running game. It opens up a lot of the passing game for Vinny.
And James Wilder came alive for them, and that's something to watch in the second half as well. As far as the Green Bay Packers are concerned, what was Lindy Infante's idea as far as what he would have preferred in this game?
Well, basically the same thing. He wants to be able to control the ball with his multiple faceted offense, the great different formations that he's used. And he's also got Randy Wright untracked a little bit.
He was kind of even in rushes and passes, so there are no complaints there, but we'll be watching the turnovers. They've been won so far, and that was a fumble by Green Bay, and the Buccaneers capitalized and scored their only touchdown.
And it gave the Buccaneers the best field position they've had all day when they got to be able to start on the 50-yard line.
Igwe Bike, who hit a 53-yarder to tie the game, will be kicking off. Patrick Scott and Sterling Sharp will go back. Scott is on the left, Sharp on the right, to return for the Packers. It's 10-0 at the end of 1 period in favor of Green Bay, and the Buccaneers tied it up in the second. Set to go here. Beautiful afternoon here in a very friendly town, Green Bay, Wisconsin. People can't do enough for you. And the kickoff. Scott, 4 yards in the end zone. Stopped at the 23-yard line, and that's where the Packers will go on offense. Henry Rolling made the stop. Let's take a look at Randy Wright in the first half. Not bad percentage-wise.
Not bad percentage-wise, and of course the big play was the 30-yard little short pass that he threw to Brent Fullwood, who took it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
1st and 10 on the 24. Paul Otkaruth is the lone back. 2 wide receivers, 2 tight ends. Wright's pass to Sharp. Does most of it is on his own, fumbles it, and Tampa Bay has recovered. Sterling Sharp had the first down, fumbled, and Harry Hamilton, the free safety and former New York Jet, recovers for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And we talked about turnovers, and boom, here you have one.
I didn't really think we'd see it on the very first play. This is really a shame because he does such a great job of breaking tackles, but he doesn't have a real good grip on the ball, and it gets punched out there. Fine tackle right on the ball.
So 2 Green Bay fumbles, and we'll see now whether the Buccaneers can capitalize this time the way they did last time. They are at the 41-yard line of Green Bay, 1st and 10. Vinny Testaverde, 2 tight ends. Wilder the setback. Wilder will get nothing on the play. Mark Murphy, who had an outstanding game in defeat last week for the Packers against the Rams. He's a good hard hitter, made the play.
There are some offensive defenses in the National Football League, and by that I mean there are defenses that are willing to attack an offense. That time the Packers, just off of a turnover, they came up with an all-out blitz, brought both safeties, and Mark Murphy was there to make the play.
2nd and 10. Jeff Smith joins Wilder in the backfield. And it's Smith with Wilder blocking. To the 37, Tim Harris on the tackle. It'll be 3rd and about 5 or 6 now for the Buccaneers. Early here in the 3rd quarter, Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts, both teams embarrassed and humiliated last week and never really in their first game encounters. Both feel that they can win this game and go 1-1 and at worst be a game out of first, right?
There's going to be 14 teams in the league that are going to be that close. Maybe not that many, but one of these two are.
3rd down and 5 at the 37. Testaverde, incomplete. Pass was intended for Ron Hall, and Tiger Green covering on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One of Vinny's problems is not getting set in the pocket, drifting around in the pocket, not really setting his feet to deliver the ball. And I don't care how strong you are, what happens is you lose your accuracy by not setting your feet and throwing.
Well, Donald Igwe-Bike, who made good on a 53-yarder, will try to better that with a 54-yard attempt. Criswell holding. 54-yarder here. Good leg, and the kick is perfect. What a day for Donald Igwe-Bike. There's a penalty marker down, however, at the line of scrimmage, so hold everything.
Oh, what a shame.
What a shame for Tampa Bay, and for the Green Bay Packers, a sigh of relief. A 54-yarder goes by the boards as a holding penalty called against Tampa Bay.
That kick might have gone through from 65 yards. That was a tremendous kick.
Holding. Number 82 offense. Go for it.
Ron Hall. And Igwe-Bike walks off the field shaking his head, and they say, don't worry about it. You'll kick a 55-yarder before this day is over. And he says, I don't know. So now, with the penalty, Criswell will kick. Walter Stanley goes back. Norman Jefferson is out for the rest of the game. So Stanley back there at the 10 for the Packers. Clobbered at the 10 and winds up on the 12-yard line. Odie Harris and Winston Moss with a great play following the 37-yard punt. And the Packers are hemmed in inside their 15 when we return.
The legendary Mercedes-Benz SL Coupe Roadster. To every reason you ever had for wanting to drive it, you can now add one more. A mighty 5.6-liter light alloy V8 engine. 227 horsepower. Infinite driving excitement. The Mercedes-Benz 560 SL.
If you think you can handle the big, bold taste of extra gold draft, hang on. This is the full tilt draft real beer drinkers have been thirsty for. And it looks like they aren't gonna let go. Grab hold of an extra gold. It's the biggest taste that's happened to beer since they put it in cans.
It's a great territory. First Interstate Bank territory. Because the First Interstate Bank card lets you get cash anytime, day or night. From Washington, D.C. to New Mexico, Colorado to Nevada. In fact, all across the U.S. So get a First Interstate Bank card and cash in on our territory. First Interstate Bank, we go the extra mile for you.
2 minutes have elapsed here in the third quarter. We're tied 10-10, and told you Norman Jefferson suffered the knee injury. He was helped off the field. He will not be back. That's why Walter Stanley returned the kick. And now let's see if Tampa Bay's defense can clamp down on the Green Bay Packers, who are starting from their 13-yard line. First down. Ken Davis and Paul Ott-Caruth on the backs. Caruth. Good hold. First down. To the 27. Mark Robinson on the stop. 14 yards for Caruth, and they open up quite a gap there.
This is Alumni Day here at Lambeau Field. A lot of the old great Packers, I know they like seeing Paul Ott-Caruth run that ball up inside. Reminds them a lot of Jim Taylor and Paul Hornung.
Gain first down on that play, 14 yards. So it's a first down at the 27. Packers out of some trouble back there. Right. Throws it out to Stanley. The question is, did he have control? And he did. Makes the catch at the 32. Winston Moss defending on the play. So they picked up a few on that one. Randy Wright today has used 8 different receivers.
He's doing a fine job bouncing back from last week in great fashion. Interesting guy. He says that he's not the type of quarterback that can carry a football team. By that he means with the proper supporting cast, he thinks that he can do the job, but he's not a John Elway type or a Dan Marino that can carry the load.
He's completed 11 of 16 for 96 yards and a touchdown. 2nd and 5 at the 32. With a rush, completes the pass anyway. It's caught by West, the tight end. Mark Robinson makes the stop. Kevin Murphy put the rush on. So it'll be 3rd and 5. Crowd has quieted down considerably. The first quarter heroics of the Packers have died down. There you see Green Bay converted only 1 3rd down attempt. 3rd and 5 now. They have 4 wideouts. Pass to Caruth. He makes a fine catch, and it'll be good enough for the first down. Just barely to the 39. Harry Hamilton defending. So now Paul Caruth continues to pay dividends, and that's why Lindy Infante says that he knows the system pretty well thus far.
Not only does he know it, he can come up with a nice catch like that. Great diving catch. You really don't expect your fullback to have that type of ability, but in an offensive system like Infante has, everybody out there on that offensive unit, aside from the offensive line, has to be able to catch the ball.
First down at the 39. Packers in their own territory. 10-10 the score. Randy Wright decided against going deep and hits Ken Davis out of the backfield, who's hit by Winston Moss at the 43. And a penalty marker is down as well. Most of the calls have been against Tampa Bay. They've been penalized 6 times today for 55 yards. And this too will be against the Buccaneers. Another personal foul. They're really overzealous today. Here's Jerry Seaman.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness, number 99 defense, first down.
Former Buffalo Bill Eugene Marv.
You know, we talked with Perkins yesterday, and he was concerned with the mistakes of last week. He was talking more about turnovers, interceptions, and fumbles, but he's going to be awfully concerned with the number of penalties he's had today, and especially personal foul ones that give the other team 15 yards.
First down. After the penalty, the Packers are at the Buccaneers 42. They got an opportunity to snap the tie. Caruth off tackle gets 1. Caruth seeing a lot of action now. Holmes made the stop, and we understand that Brent Fullwood, who started the game, has an unspecified injury, but we know he will not return to the contest. So the Packers lose their starting fullback.
They've lost a number of players today. Now they, especially on the defensive side of the ball, this is the first offensive guy they won't see for the rest of the day. And Fullwood is an outstanding talent running that ball. They're going to need him.
He saw Woodside play, and he showed well. It'll be 2nd and 8 at the 40 now. 9:35 remaining, 3rd quarter right here. So the last 2 times he's carried the ball, Caruth has come up empty. This time the rookie from Southern Mississippi, Sidney Coleman, who has been in for Urban Randall, makes the tackle, and that'll bring up 3rd and long as the Buccaneers come in with their nickel package.
Caruth is really not that type of runner, Dick. That was a misdirection counter play where he steps to the offside, gets a handoff, and then he really doesn't have that type of Brent Fullwood speed to make up the difference.
They'll go with 4 wide receivers, and the Bucs Counter with 6 defensive backs, Jones and Donnie Elder. 3rd and 9 at the 41 of Tampa Bay. John Cannon was eager to get to Randy Wright. Let's see if he was drawn off. We have the traditional pointing of the fingers.
Encroachment prior to the snap, number 97 defense.
That's the only finger that counts, is the one that Jerry Seaman has and which way he points.
Sean Lee, encroachment. Look at the penalty story. The Buccaneers penalized twice as much as the Packers, but look at the yardage. That's really been a factor, and it were it not for the 2 fumbles, well, the one in particular, in the second quarter, the Packers might have the lead. 3rd down and 4. Randy Wright on a jump pass, and on the reception, Perry Kemp. He's short of a first down, however. It was Harry Hamilton right on it. And there you see Kemp, who's holding that right arm. He might have injured it on the catch. It'll be 4th down and 2 for Green Bay.
You know, there are times when the offense calls good plays, and there are times when the defense calls good plays. That was an excellent call by the Tampa Bay defense by forcing Wright to throw what we call a blitz adjustment. They came up and they blitzed the safeties. The Packers had to break their pattern, and Tampa Bay knew that there was not enough yardage with the catch to make the first down.
Are you surprised that the Packers on the 34 of Tampa Bay in a tie game are going for it here?
Yes, I am. And I'll tell you why. I don't think they have the offense to get it. And I don't think Randy Wright likes the play that was called.
Timeout call by Randy Wright. He didn't like what he saw as the Buccaneers quickly sent in some defensive reinforcements. And so Green Bay is forced to use a timeout here in the 3rd quarter.
AT&T has just made Watts a whole new ballgame for any size business. Pick from a lineup of plans that give you call detail, distance-sensitive pricing, and major league discounts, even on international and AT&T card calls. If you thought AT&T Watts had just one pitch, now it's a whole new ballgame.
This year, 24 men and women are going to Seoul, Korea. Going for the gold. Coors Light is proud to be a sponsor of the USA National Men's and Women's Volleyball teams. Proud to be sending our best.
What gives you lots of hot water the lowest cost way?
Nothing does it like gas.
What lets you wash for less money to save every day?
Nothing does it like gas.
What heats water so efficiently it's half the cost of electricity?
Nothing does it, no, nothing does it like gas.
And if you're beyond gas service, use propane.
For hot water, for cooking, home heating, or drying.
Choose gas, America's best energy value.
A traitor wants to come home. Only one man can get him.
If the Russians don't get us, the company will.
Intrigue. Tonight.
Here at Lambeau Field, the Packers will go for it on 4th and 2 on the 34 in a tie game, and they have 4 wide receivers in there, Dan.
They were in this situation earlier, although it was 3rd down and 2. They ran Fullwood on a draw that he fumbled, and they ran Caruth on a draw on 3rd and 2, where he didn't make the yardage. Same type of personnel in the game. Caruth is the running back now.
Called a timeout. Here's the play on 4th down. Wright's pass to Epps. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be close. And at first glance, it appears as if the Packers have a first down. But there's a penalty marker down. Ricky Reynolds got wrapped around Epps. And the penalty is against the Packers. And that just may change what they do totally now. They'll have to kick it away.
There are good times. There's probably never a good time to have a penalty. This is a terrible time.
Illegal formation. Number 75 was not on the line of scrimmage. Still 4th down.
And Rutgers, who should know better.
That's really another one of those inexcusable type of lining up incorrectly type of penalties. We've seen a lot where the guy was lining up too close to the ball. This time Rutgers is too far in the backfield or too far off the ball, and it's kind of a ticky-tack type of penalty.
They had the first down, though, with Epps just barely. So Bracken now forced to kick it away. Smith is back for Tampa Bay, going for the corner, and it goes out of bounds. And they will spot it in the neighborhood of the 10-yard line, right about the 11. So the Packers miss a first down because of a penalty, and Igwe got robbed of a 53-yard field goal because of a penalty. And we'll have a timeout.
At Prudential Bates, rock solid means more than strength and stability. It's having the resources to develop and deliver individualized investment ideas. Market Wise means the insight and capability that helps clients find opportunities no matter what the investment climate. If anyone can get your strategy right on target right now, that's it. It's Prudential Bates Securities, rock solid, market wise.
I'm not panicking yet, but Tim is our major weapon for this meeting, and I don't see him.
I spoke to him last night. He said he'll meet us there.
What, is he taking a different flight?
He's not flying, he's driving.
He's driving the 300 miles.
Just bought a 190 class Mercedes. Says he's never driven anything like it.
Well, that's great, but why would he want to do all that driving when he doesn't have to?
I guess that's the whole point.
This year, 24 men and women are going to Seoul, Korea. Going for the gold. Coors Light is proud to be a sponsor of the USA National Men's and Women's Volleyball teams. Proud to be sending our best.
It's a place called Death Valley, where 10th-ranked Florida State will take on the 3rd-ranked Tigers of Clemson next Saturday on CBS Sports.
Back here at Lambeau Field, tied at 10-10. The Packers had to give up a ball, and now Tampa Bay will take over possession with 7:19 to go. And who will be in possession of the U.S. Open Championship? It'll be Ivan Lendl or Mats Wilander. The top two seeds battle it out after this game. Could be a baseline affair. Last year, a marathon. Wilander trying to win his 3rd Grand Slam title this year. 1st and 10 at the 12 for the 4th time. The Bucks start inside their own 20. Lars Tate spins his way to the 17-yard line where Nate Hill and Mark Murphy combine to make the stop. Chicago leading Indianapolis 10-6 3rd quarter. Miami and Buffalo are tied also in the 3rd quarter of that game, and New Orleans now eking ahead of Atlanta by a point. Tight games, it seems, all around the NFL today, including that one. The Giants trailing now the 49ers. 2nd and 4 at the 18. Including that one. The Giants trailing now the 49ers. 2nd and 4 at the 18 for Tampa Bay, their own 18. And bursting up the middle is James Wilder, the upback. He's got the first down beyond the 25-yard line.
Anytime you start inside your 20-yard line, Dick, you're looking for what they call breathing room. It's really not breathing room. It's sighing room, a sigh of relief if you move the ball out. And in 2 plays, they've done a great job. And they really are sending maybe a little bit of a message to the Packers that we can get physical, too, up front. We can run the ball right down your throat.
Tim Harris and John Anderson on that play. 2 tight ends on first down at the 28 now. 10-10 the score. Bruce Hill, the lone wide receiver to the bottom. But they go right to Tate. Tate looking for the hole, fights up to the 35, and a gain of 7 good yards there. John Dorsey, inside linebacker, on the stop.
That's the type of running play that Tate will really excel at, because he has the natural instincts to make the proper cut and follow his blockers well. He's a youngster. He's still learning, but with that 4.4 speed, he's going to be very productive in this offense someday.
The Buccaneers have rushed 23 times for 89 yards in this game. More to their liking than a week ago. 2nd and 3 at the 35. Short of the first down, Burnell Dent, who has not been a starter. They've used Holland and Dorsey, but Dent has played very well as a backup. And forced to play in place of the injured Holland today, who's out with a thigh injury, and it'll be 3rd and short.
Got to believe that the injuries up front to the Packer defensive line, with Sean Patterson out and Boyarsky out, that they're hurting a little bit. And now on 3rd down and short yardage, they have to bring in an offensive lineman, Tom Neville, to play defensive line for them.
Mark Cooper, who's normally a backup tackle, is used as a 3rd tight end here. He's number 71. 3rd down and 1 to 38. Tate will have the first down. Well, Lars Tate, who's fulfilling Ray Perkins' promise of playing more, has a first down for the Buccaneers. Mark Lee and Mark Murphy made the play.
Nice little misdirection that time with the backs in the I formation. Wilder came left and Tate went right and really confused the Packer defense.
Neville comes out of the game. He was the lineman. Here it is.
There goes James Wilder, 32 to the left, and a big hole on the right side.
First down at the 43 of Tampa Bay with 4 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. James Wilder straight ahead. He carries 3 or 4 Packers with him and gets another first down as he barrels his way into Green Bay territory. A pickup of 11. Anderson, Dorsey, and Dent all brought Wilder down.
Players may claim not to notice the negative press or what people are saying about them, but they know what's going on. And James Wilder is got a lot of pride. He wants to prove that he still has the ability, and he's having a nice day so far.
62 yards on 12 carries. First down at the 46 of Green Bay. Still tied at 10. Waning moments of the 3rd quarter. Wilder runs into his own man, Gruber. So Gruber was pushed back, and Wilder couldn't get going. No gain on that play. It was Harris and Dorsey defending.
Quite a chess game going on with the coaching staffs. We talked earlier how to expect a blitz of some type after you've been successful running the ball 3 or 4 times. And Mark Murphy came on the safety blitz that time, and that's right exactly where the Bucs wanted to run the ball.
It's been a while since Wilder has hit the century mark. The 8th play of the drive coming right here. All have been running plays. 2nd and 10 at the 46. Testaverde as Carrier. First down, fumble. And the Green Bay Packers have recovered. Blaze Winter. First turnover of the game by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They had a first down deep in Green Bay territory, and Carrier coughed it up. There's Blaze Winter.
This is a byproduct of 2 teams struggling. Now it's Tampa's turn to cough the ball up after a receiver makes a nice play. Earlier, Green Bay's Sterling Sharp did exactly the same thing. Mark Lee did a great job of knocking that ball loose.
So Tampa Bay's drive goes by the board, and a former San Diego Charger, Blaze Winter, who was forced to start today at left tackle.
Hustling all the way down the field. He never knew that there'd be a fumble down there.
Packers have it 1st and 10 on the 23. Tied 10-10. Ken Davis. Penalty marker down, and Davis is down. Just short of the 30-yard line. Mark Robinson was first, and then Sidney Coleman followed. And another penalty. And that'll go against the Packers.
We basically had a pretty well-played first half, Dick. Not a whole lot of penalties, or a lot of penalties in crucial situations.
Holding number 86 offense, still first down.
Tight end Ed West.
Now we're getting fumbles after nice plays by the receivers. Now we're getting a lot of penalties in crucial situations that are really hampering both offenses.
There you see Phillip Epps as they're shuttling in wide receivers with the play for Randy Wright. Winding down to 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. We have had no scoring in this period. 10-10 the score. Now they're spotting the ball at the 17-yard line, or 18. Some confusion at the line, and Jerry Seaman wants to talk to one of his cohorts.
Not only do we have struggling ball clubs, we've got a struggling officials crew.
Well, best they get it right. Bill Reynolds, the head linesman. They just had to adjust the clock, it appears. First down and 15 at the 18 for Green Bay. Randy Wright, Phillips, fine catch to the 28-yard line. Short of a first down, they needed 15. Kevin Murphy on the stop. Less than a minute and a half remaining, third quarter. There's the Brain Trust over in the Green Bay sideline, and coming in with the play is Kenneth Davis. Why doesn't Foddy like to shuttle in the wideouts or receivers?
It creates a little bit of a question mark on his opponent's sideline as to what personnel the defense should have in the game.
So he'd rather do that than signal it in. 2nd and 5 at the 28. Wright flips it out to Caruth. And Caruth is stopped short of a first down. Reuben Davis and Eugene Marv. Marv was the first to get to him. There's the time remaining in the third quarter. That'll bring up 3rd and short for the Green Bay Packers, whose last 5 possessions have added up to 3 punts and 2 fumbles.
Not a whole lot of excitement here in the second half.
Not yet anyway, but Randy Wright this half has not thrown an incomplete pass. He has hit all 8. That's kind of gone unnoticed, hasn't it?
Well, I sure didn't notice it, Dick. Thank you for bringing it to my attention.
3rd down and 1 at the 32. Davis will have the first down. And that'll be the last play of the third quarter. Robinson and Jones makes the stop at the 37. That's the end of the third quarter.
It's been said that form should always follow function. But on rare occasions, the function is already so highly advanced that the form is free to pursue absolute beauty. Presenting the Mercedes-Benz 300 CE Coupe.
Millions of people get athlete's foot.
I had itching, burning athlete's foot until I used NP27 with an ingredient recommended by doctors.
Doctors recommend NP27's ingredient 2-to-1 over Mycotin or Desonex.
NP27. Nothing's a better cure for athlete's foot.
Dexatrim's amazing. I lost weight without being hungry, and that never happened before.
Just 1 Dexatrim controls your appetite all day, and it's caffeine-free.
With Dexatrim, I wasn't hungry, I lost weight, and I feel great.
Now the whole country knows. We really took the wind out of their sails. The challenge is over, and we're America's champions.
Diet Pepsi is America's choice. In head-to-head taste tests, Diet Pepsi challenged and beat Diet Coke.
And by the way, we won the America's Cup, too, with Diet Pepsi's support.
Dennis Conner and Diet Pepsi, America's champions.
We start the fourth quarter here at Lambeau Field in Green Bay. Dick Stockton and Dan Fouts. Tampa Bay and Green Bay, 10-10 the score. We had no scoring in the third quarter. So far in this one, Tampa Bay has outrushed Green Bay 2-1. And Green Bay has had the passing advantage, 124 yards to 98.
Big play in that third quarter was the penalty against the Packers when they had picked up the first down on 4th and 1.
And the fumble hurt Tampa Bay when they had a first down. 1st and 10 at the 38. Green Bay in their own zone. Randy Wright finds Woodside out of the backfield. And he is wrestled down at the 42-yard line by Sidney Coleman, and flags fly, and now we have Moss and Rich Moran going at it. Two number 57s. And they were actually throwing punches, something you don't often see in a football fight.
And I got to believe they're both history for today. This was an all-out fight, and they're throwing punches into face masks. And there's no way you're going to win that fight.
Not a wise thing to do. So a key defensive player, Winston Moss, and Rich Moran, the left guard. We saw the two of them. We'll wait for Jerry Seaman to tell us how they're going to treat this one.
The thing I hate to see in this situation is that neither side will be penalized. There'll be offsetting penalties. Both guys will stay in the game. It's like nothing happened, but yet it was a very serious fight. Well, watch the end of this play now. It's very easy to tell. It's two guys with a number 57 on. There's Rich Moran. He's just hustling a little bit. Now Moss comes with a right hand that misses. You call this, Dick. I don't do fights.
Walter Stanley actually landed on Winston
Personal
Moss's
foul, unnecessary roughness, number 57, defense, personal foul, offense, offsetting dead ball fouls, second down.
Well, you just said it. No penalty on either side. They both stay in the game.
And I'm not sure I understand it. I haven't seen a fight go on like that with as many blows thrown in a long, long time. In fact, I can't remember ever seeing two guys carry on like that.
Well,
what does it take to get thrown out of a game?
Well, you were in it for 15 years, and so you saw enough, and we're involved in enough games. So it'll be 2nd and 6. So just make believe it never happened.
I will if you will.
Okay, it's a deal. At the 42. Ball at Caruth, and maybe a yard loss. Sean Lee, and another flag goes down immediately. And I think right now the officials more than anything want to establish control of this game. That'll be holding against Green Bay. Not that that was a call that would do that, but I'm sure that Jerry Seaman doesn't want to see things get out of hand. We've had a couple of close calls, and then the actual skirmish between both Moran and Moss.
Well, the referees are human too, and they feel pressure just as the ball players feel pressure. They feel the pressure to control the game. So after there's a little skirmish like we had between Moss and Moran, the referees are a little bit more on edge.
Number 60 offense, still second down.
And a little bit more aware of what's happening in the ball game.
Dave Croston, right tackle. That was the 15th penalty of the game. So the Packers are back to their own 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 15. Early here in this 4th quarter, 10-10 the score. Randy Wright, time, still does, and wide open is Sterling Sharp. Penalty marker down, and Sharp gets deep into Tampa Bay territory and knocked out of bounds at the 27 by Harry Hamilton. But let's see if we have a clipping penalty here against the Packers. And it looks like they're going to bring it back. A 40-yard gain, open field to Sharp, and they're going to bring this one back.
Sharp pushed off is what he did. Great job by Wright, though, hanging in that pocket and finding him. But it's a rookie mistake in the secondary by Sterling Sharp.
No clip. It was a push off, but it did the same damage.
Pass interference, number 86 offense, still second down.
And it was Ed West, the tight end, and not Sharp on the push off.
Sorry, Sterling, and your family. But they got the old toolbox, Ed West. Again, it's a mistake, though. It's not a turnover, but it's a negative type of thing that's just been plaguing both teams throughout this second half.
And the penalties have come after big plays on both sides. 2nd down and 25 for the Packers on the 23-yard line. Caruth is the one back, 4 wide receivers. Randy Wright up the middle. He's got Perry Kemp. That's the way to do it. You don't have to get it all in one play. And Kemp with a 20-yard pickup to the 43. Futrell and Reynolds on the stop.
Kemp really has an advantage in this system. He, as you said earlier, Dick, he's played for Lindy Infante coach teams in Jacksonville with the Cleveland Browns, and last year he was with the replacement team there. So he has the knowledge. He did a nice job of finding the open area in the zone. The Bucs only rushed three men that time on Wright. He had the time, found the man,
Kemp had a good game last week against the Rams, too. 3rd down and 5 at the 43. Perfect this half, as you see. Right pass to Epps. He's got it, and he's 11 for 11. It was blown dead at the 46 of Tampa Bay, but it's good enough for the first down. Rod Jones on the stop. So Randy Wright, looking his sharpest, hits Kemp for 20, and then Epps for 11, and that's a first down.
This is why quarterbacks make a nice little salary. You got to be able to stand in that pocket and deliver the ball, and also relax a little bit and take that blow in the back. Great catch by Epps. We talked earlier about players having to make big plays to sustain drives, and that's what Phillip did there.
Packers with a first down on the Buccaneers 46, tied 10-10. A lot of time remaining, over 12 minutes. Right to the air. He's got another completion, this time to Stanley, and he has another first down as well. Futrell and Hamilton on the tackle. That's good for 12.
Wright has been hitting the back out of the backfield, Ken Davis, number 36, a lot on this play. But this is the option screen. He has the option to throw the ball down the field to the receiver, as he does in this situation. Nice read by the quarterback.
Randy Wright, you don't hear the boos now, obviously. He has clinked. He has been red hot. He is 11 for 11 here in this second half and has a first down on the Buccaneers 34. Ball at Caruth, giving ground, and takes a loss on the play. Sidney Coleman and Bobby Futrell. Coleman, who's, you mentioned, a rookie free agent out of Southern Mississippi, forced to play when Urban Randall went out. The best inside linebacker the Bucs have is really showing Ray Perkins an eyeful today.
The eyeful that I'm really enjoying, though, is watching Randy Wright and his hot hand in this second half. If I'm calling the plays, I'm not calling any running plays anymore. I'm going to ride this guy's arm until it drops. He's on.
2nd and 11 at the 35. 10-10 the score. Wright will run. He's tripped up 3 yards shy of a first down by Ron Holmes, but he had the presence of mind to run, and he had Caruth in front of him.
Wright hit Brent Fullwood earlier in the game in a similar type of situation from a similar part of the field. He comes back into the pocket and has a lot of time to throw, and there's Caruth in front of him. He could have dumped the ball off to him, as he did earlier in the game when he threw it to Fullwood. I know that Caruth is going to be asking him, hey, why didn't you throw me the ball?
He's not far from the first down. 3rd and a long one at the 26. Ken Davis joins Caruth in the backfield. And Ken Davis carries, and he stops short of the first down. He was hit hard at the 25, and I don't believe he made the sticks. Kevin Murphy came in and forced the play nicely. And it'll be 4th down.
Well, they went for it on 4th down the last time. I would expect to see him to go for it again.
You expect to see 4 wide receivers?
No, I think it's a little bit shorter distance, and oh my.
Well, they bring in Max Zendejas to try the field goal with 9:40 to go. Figure this one out.
I'm not sure I can, although it is the 4th quarter. They need 3 points. The wind is at Zendejas' back. He's already shown the big leg earlier in the game with a 50-yarder. That's got to be the thinking.
A 43-yard field goal attempt to try to break the tie. Bracken holds. There's the wind. There's the kick. Penalty marker down. And we'll have a delay of the game. They took too much time, and a delay of the game call against Green Bay.
Delay of game offense.
So they'll have to move back, and that would be a 48-yarder now. That makes things a little testy. Although, as you mentioned, Zendejas did click from 50, and the wind is really whipped up now.
Both these teams, it appears that they're trying to lose this ball game. They're getting all these great situations. They're converting them, but then they have a silly penalty like delay of game. Somebody's got to be watching that clock.
So this will be a 48-yard attempt. Zendejas. Blocked. The kick is blocked. And it goes into the end zone, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers hold, and we keep the tie, and we'll return to Lambeau Field in Green Bay after this word from your local station.
This is CBS. Look to the leader.
ESPN is your ticket to NFL Sunday night action when the best go head-to-head. As time runs out elsewhere, ESPN kicks off each Sunday night of the season with football's finest hour, NFL Primetime. The greatest plays from every game played that day. Then, Joe Theismann joins the team that won critical acclaim. NFL Sunday Night Football, live on ESPN.
Tom Newberry of the Los Angeles Rams on shopping at Scogan's.
If you think living in California is a treat, you may be right, except when it comes to grocery shopping. Now, I like meat, good quality beef. That's why I insist on buying all my steaks at Scogan's when I'm in town.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you, bud. Scogan's is the cleanest, friendliest store I've ever shopped. I wish we had one in California. With service like this, I'd really have it made.
Thanks, Tom. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Scogan's IGA, from La Crosse to Galesville, maybe even California.
What's the difference between the Republican candidates for Senate? Steve King has signed a pledge not to raise taxes. Susan Engelleiter won't say no to higher taxes in the future. Steve King supports a one-year federal spending freeze. Susan Engelleiter disagrees. Steve King supports the death penalty for drug kingpins and convicted murderers. Susan Engelleiter is against it. What's the difference between the candidates? Steve King's the difference. All the difference Wisconsin and America need.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Allstate. For home, auto, and life insurance, you're in good hands with Allstate. Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires. And by Subaru. We built our reputation by building a better car.
Back here at Lambeau Field, Eugene Marv blocked the field goal attempt by Max Zendejas. And the Packers had the ball for 8 minutes and 10 seconds and came away with nothing. And the Buccaneers have a first down on their 30, still tied at 10. James Wilder off the left side. Wilder picks up 9 yards. Murphy on the stop. Let's go back to the Green Bay decision to go for 3 there, Dan.
Well, earlier in the third quarter, they had a 4th and 2, and they decided to go for it with 4 wide receivers. They made the first down. It was called back because of a penalty. Very curious, though, on 4th and just 1 yard, even less than a yard, they felt that 3 points would be enough. That's what they wanted to do. They get the delay of game, then they get blocked. A lot of bad things happening.
2nd and 1 for the Buccaneers. Up the middle is Wilder, and he has the first down just shy of midfield. Murphy and Stills in the secondary making the stop. So with 8.5 minutes remaining, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers now could cook up a drive that they hope will give them the lead. They haven't had the lead today. They were trailing 10-0 before they tied it up in the second quarter. Steelers leading the Redskins 19-7. That would be a shocker. 19-17 stands corrected. First down at the 49 for the Bucs. Wilder again. And he'll lose a yard on the play. Tim Harris, Mark Murphy. Looks like Gruber is having a bit of a tough time at left tackle against the Green Bay defense.
The success that Tampa Bay has had running the ball has always been, or at least today, has been along the right side behind Rob Taylor and Dan Turk.
Buccaneers have run the ball 30 times. They're the Redskins regaining the lead. They've rushed 30 times and passed 19. Ray Perkins likes that ratio. 2nd and 11 at the 48 of Tampa Bay. And Testaverde goes down in a great pass rush to safety blitz. Tiger Green on the play.
Tiger Green on the sack.
This is a great play by the Packers. Tiger Green comes in free. Vinny has got to get rid of this ball. He has to know going into to the start of that play where his protection is, where is he most vulnerable. If they bring a safety on the blitz like that, he's got to throw the ball either away or to a wide receiver on a blitz adjustment. That's a huge loss there where they had good field position.
A loss of 14. Third down and 25, back to the 34-yard line. Testaverde. And loses the ball. It's a fumble, and the Packers may have it. They do. Tim Harris knocked it loose, and Mark Murphy makes the recovery for Green Bay.
We talked earlier about how Vinny has to just contain himself and play within himself and worry about his own job. Here he's trying to make a big play. He's trying to stay in the pocket and find somebody. Now he doesn't feel the man coming from behind stripping the ball, Tim Harris. He compounds one mistake with the sack, with another with a fumble.
And I don't want anyone driving my XT while I'm away. Do you understand?
The new Subaru XT6 has a powerful 6-cylinder engine, computerized full-time 4-wheel drive, and a design which makes it hard to resist.
Somebody drove my car. Who was it?
Up to $1,000 cash back from Subaru means a great deal on a great car.
A lot of beers have been trying to knock out Pabst Blue Ribbon beer. Beers from Europe, beers from the night. Even beers with ugly dogs as mascots. Yet Pabst Blue Ribbon beer keeps coming back. And back and back. Why? Because for over 100 years, Pabst has been consistently brewed with only the finest hops and grades. It's what's inside that counts.
Hey, I like your new car. Thanks. It's got loads of power and really holds the road. You need all that performance? No, but it's nice to know it's there. You really have to take care of a car like this. A car like this is supposed to take care of you. That's why I bought Michelin's.
Michelin, because so much is riding on your tires.
Golden opportunity for the Green Bay Packers here, and Randy Wright has had a tremendous half. He is 12 for 12. The record of completions in a row is 18 by Lynn Dickey for the Packers. 172 yards and a touchdown, although Tampa Bay has outrushed the Packers. First and 10, Green Bay on the Tampa Bay 41. 6:46 remaining in the fourth quarter. Wright finds Caruth out of the backfield. Second effort may net him a first down at the 31. Sidney Coleman, the rookie linebacker, and Reuben Davis, the rookie defensive end for Tampa Bay. And it is another first. Let's see where they mark it. It'll be second and less than a yard. Don't you love those second and 1 for you?
Well, we talked earlier about how Bart Starr would always fake it and throw it deep. I wouldn't expect that to happen here, though. Field position's very important. The Packers have it now. They want to run some time off that clock.
Just under 6 minutes now. Caruth won't get it that time as the Buccaneers gang up, led by Reuben Davis and Sidney Coleman again. And it'll be third down and a little more than a yard left.
Both teams have had trouble in this area of the football field all day. It seems like they get to about the 30-yard line and everything just stops.
Clint Didier, who was acquired after the Washington Redskins let him go. There he is, number 80, has come in the game, and they had intended to use him on short yardage and goal line, and he comes in as the third tight end here.
This is curious. Now it's 3rd and 2, and now Randy Wright did not like the play call. He uses their second timeout.
So now the Packers have only one if it comes down to it, and they converse over on the sideline. So our first look at Clint Didier, who played so well for so many years for the Super Bowl people in the Washington Redskins. And we'll have a timeout now as they talk things over. We'll be back.
Hello. Business has sure picked up here at Lucky's Castaway Club since he started serving our new Bartles & James Premium Tropical Cooler. Ed selected 5 natural fruit flavors to give it a lively tropical taste. Lucky's has become the in-place for trendy singles. Ed heard you could get hit on down here, but we haven't seen any fights, and everyone sure seems to like our new Bartles & James Tropical Cooler. Thanks for your support.
Leave it to the good hands, people.
Compassion. You can't teach it or place too great a value on it. But you could measure it down this very road on the morning of June 23rd. In the actions of Allstate Claims Adjuster Don Mulder, who at 5 a.m. drove 60 miles to a fire site. All just to shorten the distance between a man's loss and a man's recovery. People like Don Mulder. Another reason.
You're in good hands with Allstate.
My folks just left.
Thank you.
When a man
The new Subaru Justy gets you anywhere you want to go, less expensively than any other four-wheel drive car.
Mr. Potts, you're home.
Of course. What brings you out on a night like this, James? Up to $1,000 cash back from Subaru means a great deal on a great car.
3-time defending champion Yvonne Lindell battles Swedish sensation Mats Wilander. It's the U.S. Open final on CBS Sports. Next.
Well, Dan, Clendidier's moment of glory didn't last long. He came in and then came out.
I don't know if he'll qualify to have enough playing time to letter this year as a letterman.
3rd down and 2 at the 33. Two tight ends. Pitch to Ken Davis. Davis is stopped short again, and a marvelous play by, and I didn't mean this, by Eugene Marv, former Buffalo Bill, but that's the best way to describe a great defensive play by the Tampa Bay Bucks, and it's 4th down and 4. So here were the Packers, less than a yard from a first down, and they lose yardage on their next 2 plays, and here comes Max Zendejas to try the field goal.
The last time that Zendejas was out here, Eugene Marv blocked his field goal try. 52-yarder, looks like.
52-yard exactly. Zendejas made good on a 50-yarder. That was the first scoring of the game. Bracken will hold to try to give the Packers the lead. It's long enough, but no good off to the right. Zendejas misses for the 2nd time in 3 attempts. So the Pack could not take advantage of that big turnover, and it's Tampa Bay ball.
Working to be the best they can be. Teammates, sponsored by the U.S. Army. Championships are one up the middle, and never has there been a better example of that axiom than Redskins tackles Dave Butts and Darrell Grant. The Super Bowl champions pride themselves on their ability to stop the run, and tackles Butts and Grant are the cogs that keep that reputation intact. Whether rousting quarterbacks out of the pocket or clamping down on the run, Dave Butts and Darrell Grant bolster the Redskin defense and make it the best it can be.
Tell me, is he still upset?
Well, you know, Dad.
Never really understood why I joined. I mean, maybe you'll go straight to college. But I had to prove something to myself first.
The GI Bill and Army College Fund. If you qualify, you can get more than $25,000 for college and an edge on life.
You think Dad'll ever come around? Dad?
On our way back to the stadium, Brent Musburger here in New York with a reminder that coming up after the game, we're going to have live coverage of the U.S. Open men's singles final. Top seed Yvonne Lindell will be trying to become the first man to win 4 consecutive titles since Big Bill Tilden back in the roaring 20s. That's Yvonne there in the near court. Now standing in the big check machine's way once again is Mats Wilander, the 2nd seed, who's already won this year's Australian and French Opens. It's a rematch of the 2 top seeds in men's tennis. We'll have it for you later today here on CBS. Right now, let's send you back to the game.
Story of missed opportunities for the Packers. They had the ball for over 8 minutes the last time, and Zendejas' field goal attempt was blocked. Here they had the ball on the Bucs 41, and Zendejas misses a 52-yarder. Let's see if Tampa Bay wants it, Dan.
Vinny's has got a little reprieve here.
Those are his numbers with 4:32 remaining in the fourth quarter, tied at 10. Testaverde's first pass is caught by Carrier right about the 40-yard line, gain of 6. David Brown on the stop. Clock continues to run.
This is the most difficult situation for a young quarterback to be in, trying to win the ball game at the end of the game, move his team down into field goal position. One thing that Vinny did on that play, he read the defense well at the line of scrimmage, changed the play with an audible, and hit the receiver on the quick out.
One thing Ray Perkins said, he can see things on the field that sometimes they don't see from upstairs. 2nd and 4 at the 40 of Tampa Bay. Here comes a safety blitz, but instead Wilder carries. He's close to first down yardage, although short maybe by a yard. Blaze Winter on the stop. Clock continues to run. The Bucs have all 3 of their timeouts remaining, but the Packers have only 1 left. Buccaneers trying to break a 9-game losing streak over a couple of seasons, and the Packers, amazingly enough, have dropped 11 of their last 12 here in the friendly confines of Lambeau Field. Not so friendly at times.
Hasn't been easy today for either side.
3rd down and 1 for Tampa Bay on their own 43. 3 tight ends, including Mark Cooper, and now the Bucs will use one of their timeouts. And not a bad place, really, at this stage of the game when you need a yard.
Well, the 45-second clock was running down, and Vinny, with that great vision we talked about, saw that clock and knew he didn't have enough time to get the play off.
Timeouts remaining. It was 10-0 Green Bay. The Packers looked like they might blow out the Buccaneers early. Zendejas with a 50-yarder and Fullwood with a great run on a 30-yard touchdown play with Randy Wright. And then in the second quarter, it turned all the way around. And the Bucs capitalizing on a Green Bay fumble scored. Lars Tate, the rookie, with his first score. And Donald Igwe-Bike with an impressive 53-yard field goal. And that's been the score, 10-10. We've had a lot of opportunities for both sides, mostly Green Bay in the second half, but nothing doing.
Too many costly mistakes in the form of penalties have cost Green Bay the opportunity to be ahead in this ball game at this time.
3rd and 1, play coming up. And Tom Neville, the offensive lineman, now in the Packer defensive line. Smith may not have made it. We may have a measurement as he needed to get to the 44, and it's close.
I think he got a favorable mark here, Dick.
And we are going to measure. Very key measurement coming up.
It really is, because the wind is against Tampa right now. If they have to punt, their punter's been a little shaky this whole year, and if this is not a first down, he'll be in the ball game.
Tom Neville, who's been forced into action with injuries to the Packer defensive line, including Boyarsky, who had a fractured arm and went out, made the tackle on the play. It is a first down for the Bucs with 2 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter.
When you're developing a young quarterback, one of the last parts of a game you talk about with him is this part right now. This is the clutch offense time where you need to execute well. You've got to throw the ball, make the proper decisions, and Vinny is really going to be tested here.
At the 45 of Tampa Bay. Flip to Wilder. Wilder fights his way close to midfield. John Dorsey making the stop, and right now for an NFL Today report, let's find out what Brent Musburger has for us. Brent?
Well, Dick, we got a couple of updates. Here's how the Bears regained the lead on Indianapolis. 7.5 minutes to go in the game. Matsui pounded in a short time ago from 2 yards out, 17-13. And some breathing room for the Saints. They're up 28-21. There's the extra point. Good. 8:52 remaining. 29-21. Back to Dick.
All right, Brent, here's 2nd and 5, and the pass clearly deflected and incomplete, intended for Bruce Hill. It was Mark Murphy who got a piece of that ball. And that'll bring up 3rd down and 5 for the Bucks with 2:03 on the clock, so they'll have a play before the 2-minute warning.
Almost every play is a crucial play. We always say with the cliches that it's a game of inches. Murphy stretched out as far as he could to deflect that ball away. This is a crucial play as well. 3rd and about 6.
And I would have to think that if the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do something here with such a young club, that would go a long way for them. 3 wideouts, 3rd and 5, just shy of midfield. Blitz on. Testaverde finds Smith, and he is close to the 1st down. Let's see where they mark it at the 45. But a great adjustment by Vinny Testaverde and a good catch by Jeff Smith. Vernell Dent on the play.
We talked about it being a good test for Testaverde. The Packers came with an all-out blitz that time. He went to the proper receiver. Jeff Smith made a nice catch, and then he rolled over and got the 1st down, really, literally on his back. Here's the blitz coming at Vinny, and he sees Smith wide open over the middle. He's on the ground. He rolls in the right direction.
You know what smooth is? You gotta stop and taste the high life. Smooth is the sensation of cracking open a cold Miller High Life. Smooth is the anticipation of that first mouthful hitting the back of your parched throat. Smooth is the feeling of a beer that goes down easy, never bitter. Stop and taste the High Life. Smooth is knowing how good that first Miller High Life tasted, and that it's time to enjoy another.
What a great evening.
I hope it's not over yet.
Look, I had to tell you, right now, I shouldn't be doing this. I'm a married woman.
That's okay. I'm a married man.
Happily married?
Very happily.
Oh, me too.
Well, happy anniversary.
Stephen, it's beautiful.
An anniversary ring of fine quality diamonds. The gift that says you'd marry her all over again.
Day after day, more people depend on Subaru wagons than any imported wagon in America. And with good reason. They're reliable and durable. In fact, if Subaru didn't make your life easier...
Honey, is dinner ready?
Who would?
Up to $1,000 cash back from Subaru means a great deal on a great car.
Here's our story. We've had our 2-minute warning. 1:57 officially remaining in the 4th quarter. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, with 2 timeouts left, have a 1st down on the Green Bay 44. Tied up 10 and 10. Vinny Testaverde has it deflected and incomplete. Pass was intended for Bruce Hill, and it was Blaze Winter who got a hand on that.
See Blaze's uniform. He's introducing a new color to the Packer green and gold there. A little red blood. I hope it's not his own on his pant leg. He was dinged up a little bit earlier in the game, but I tell you what, he is a tough guy, and he's not going to take himself out of the lineup, especially with the way they're so short-handed right now.
Well, the Buccaneers have fumbled twice this half. That hurt them. Green Bay couldn't capitalize. They missed field goals after both fumbles. 2nd and 10. Testaverde with a flare to Hill. He's got it, and he remained in bounds for a 1st down at the 23. Lee covering on the play. That's an old Washington Redskin play at many other clubs, and a gain of 21.
What the referee is saying is that Mark Lee pushed him out of bounds. He had the catch. And he would have stayed in bounds if he had not been pushed out right there at the very end. Great concentration by Bruce Hill.
He had a big day last week. He hasn't caught many passes today, but that was a huge one. And with 1:48 to go, they're taking another look at that play.
Well, he definitely did not have both feet in bounds.
Question is whether Lee had pushed him out of bounds.
Exactly, and I guess the instant replay referee is looking at that play right now.
Dave Kamansky is the replay official, and Don Weiss, the executive director of the National Football League, And second in command, the Commissioner Pete Rozelle is here as the communicator. So this is going to evoke a response from the crowd one way or another. No, let's hear is Jerry Seaman.
After further review with instant replay, the play stands. First down.
It stands, and there's the reaction, and here's the other look.
I got to believe this is a good call. Definitely was pushed out at the very end. Nice throw by Testaverde.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line. 1:48 to go. Testaverde will run it. 15 and knocked out of bounds. He has a first down inside the 10-yard line. David Brown ran him out of bounds. So Vinny Testaverde, who was looking for his first win as an NFL quarterback, picks up 15 huge yards.
Nothing more than a simple bootleg. Testaverde does a great job of avoiding Tim Harris along the outside, and now it's just him and Dave Brown. Then he's one of the stronger quarterbacks in the league. He had those big legs moving that time.
He's learning a lot on this drive and in this game. First and goal at the 7 for the Bucks. Trying to win it. Wilder to the 5 and fights his way just inside the 5-yard line as the clock runs. Keep in mind, Green Bay has only one timeout left. Nate Hill and Blaze Witter combined to make the stop. And if they need to go to Donald Igwe-Bike, he's waiting in the wings. Keep in mind, if he does try a kick and they don't score a touchdown, it would be into the wind.
Well, Vinny's going to take as much time off the clock right now. The Packers have just one timeout remaining. In order to stop the clock, they're going to run this one right down to the very end and let Igwe-Bike kick that winning field goal.
Nice goal.
Thanks.
11th play of the drive coming. Second and goal on the 5. Wilder leaps. Maybe a yard, that's all, and we have under a minute to go, and the clock continues to run. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers have yet to call one of their remaining timeouts, and now they do with 42 seconds to go. Is it Green Bay or Tampa Bay that time?
Green Bay called the timeout. And one of the problems is their sideline wanted that timeout about 5 or 6 seconds before they actually got the attention of the referees on the field to call that timeout. In fact, one of the players came off the sideline, Chuck Cecil, and ran out to the referee to make him call the timeout. Nobody was heads up enough on the Packer defense to look to the sideline to see if they should, in fact, call the timeout. So they lost about 4 or 5 seconds there. Who knows? They might come in handy later on.
Coming up next on CBS Sports, top-seeded Ivan Lendl goes for his 4th straight U.S. Open Tennis Championship when he faces the 2nd seed Mats Wilander. He has a lot at stake. He has won 2 Grand Slams in 3 tries. The only one he hasn't won is Wimbledon, and will try to make it 3 out of 4. So it's the U.S. Open men's final coming up next on CBS. Right now, Perkins talking to Testaverde. He has a 3rd and goal at the 4.
One of the things, each kicker has a preferred place on the field to kick the ball, whether it's a left hash mark or it's right in the middle or it's the right hash mark. Iggy has told Coach Perkins exactly where he wants the ball to be placed. Look for this running play to go to one side for that specific reason.
So you know that you feel there will not be a pass attempt here by Testaverde.
I guarantee you they're just telling the backs right now. Vinny is in the huddle. He's telling his guys, hang on to the ball. We're not going to worry about the touchdown. We're going to get the extra. We're going to get the field goal coming up soon.
3rd and goal at the 4. And Testaverde on a keeper is thrown for a loss. Tim Harris with a big play. Still, however, within field goal range of Igwe-Bike. The clock held at 39 right now.
Harris is on the far right of the screen, number 97. Fool me once, not twice. This is the 2nd bootleg they've tried on this particular drive, and Harris stayed at home looking for Vinny to come outside. Very difficult to run a bootleg twice in one game and fool the same guy both times. Great play by Harris.
It was, and the clock continues to run. Here is his reaction. The clock is continuing to run here. We have 13 seconds to go. Harris talking up there.
He's telling him, hey, listen, fool me once, you're not going to get around me another time. The ball is on the left hash mark. And obviously, the clock down now to 3 seconds, 1 play left.
Now the question here, why do you let it go down as far as 3 seconds on a situation like that, where a penalty against the offense may not let you get another play off, another kick?
Well, in this situation, Dick, it's 4th down. It really doesn't matter. This is going to be the last play of regulation. He makes the kick, the game's over. But in another situation, say it was 2nd or 3rd down, where they have another down to use, you wouldn't run the clock down to 3 seconds. Right. You might leave 8 or 9 seconds on clock, just in case what happens, like you say. Also, what could happen is a muffed snap from center, where Tampa Bay could still fall on the ball. They would still have the opportunity to line up again and kick it on a down like 2nd or 3rd. But all that is really doesn't matter, because it's 4th down. And Iggy is going to get a chance to win this ball game.
Well, this is it. Game hanging in the balance. Igwe has been successful on a 53-yard field goal. He missed a 58-yarder.
The other thing is that the Packers do not have any timeouts left, so they cannot ice Iggy any more than he's already been iced by his own team with the last timeout.
28-yard attempt. Criswell will hold. Dan Turk is the center. Here it is. The kick is up, and the kick is good, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, on a field goal by Donald Igwe have given Ray Perkins a victory, 13-10 over the Green Bay Packers. And if you don't think this game means much, just look at the Tampa Bay Bucks, who go on the road and win, and so the Packers lose again in Lambeau.
He's the first guy that knows it goes through. Now he says, how do I react? Are they going to kill me? Oh, he loves it.
So for the first time since 1956, the Green Bay Packers have dropped back-to-back home games to open the season. And the Tampa Bay Bucks finally get that 9-game albatross off their back. So the Buccaneers beat the Packers 13-10. And amazingly, their first lead of the ball game comes on the field goal to win it.
Real tip of the hat to Vinny Testaverde to lead his team in the last 3 or 4 minutes of the game down for the winning points.
For Dan Fouts, Dick Stockton saying so long from Lambeau Field. The Buccaneers win, and you've been watching CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League.